What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Jam Podcast. Today, I'm joined here by Ryan
Man.
Pineda. Great guy. I met him at a Wim Hof workshop. He knows a lot about biohacking, and yeah, I just really wanted to have him on the podcast and give you guys some value. Ryan, introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Ryan Pineda. I'm a health and nutrition consultant. I've been in this field for about the last 10 years. I've helped hundreds of clients, mostly men. I usually like working with men, sales guys, real estate guys, CEOs, entrepreneurs. That's the guys I really relate to best, I feel. So yeah, and like I said, I've been doing it about 10 years. I'm more into a holistic approach where I try to not just, if somebody wants to lose weight, I'm not just going to give them like a diet. It's more about helping them create a lifestyle that they can do the rest of their life, and more of a getting to the full gambit of health, not just nutrition, but also, anti-aging, stress management, biohacking, brain health, the whole gambit of health, because that's what's really going to make this last for the long term, instead of just doing a typical diet that maybe you cut calories or whatever for a few months and then you go right back to your old habits again. It's not going to last, or you typically, it doesn't last. So yeah, that's the way I like to do things, is help people create a healthy a lifestyle that they can do the rest of their life. And everybody's different, and that's what we like try to look into, is what's going to work best for them.
Awesome. Yeah, can you give the audience like a bit about like yourself, like how you grew up, maybe like did you grow up in the US, a bit about your upbringing and like how you even got into like the whole, biohacking health space. Like what made you get into it?
Yeah, so I grew up in California and LA, and moved to Orange County when I was about 21 years old. But yeah, typical, when I was a kid, it's typical American diet. Pizza every day, hamburgers, top ramen, microwave burritos, fast food, all the way on up until I was probably about 30. And so I had, just ate bad. But my thing was, I worked out. I got into exercise when I was like 14, just through sports and football. I started lifting weights. And so I always just thought, as long as I exercise, I could do whatever I want. I thought like fitness was like health, But yeah, fitness is great, but it's a part of it, it's a portion. And I realized that once I got to like, my late 20s, 29, 30, that you can't just work out. And things started catching up to me. I started getting brain fog and gaining, I lost like my, kind of like I always had a six pack when I was younger, just from working out. I could eat whatever I want. Nothing, when you're young, you can get away with it. And yeah, like I said, as I got to my late 20s, it kind of just started catching up with me. And it wasn't just, I wasn't like overweight or anything, but I just, started getting more fat. And yeah, like I said, brain fog, low energy, stress was more up. I also was drinking, through my 20s a lot, going out. Yeah, I lived in Huntington Beach, so of course I was into the the bar scene. Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, it's just like a big beach bar scene. So I would probably drink 3-4 days a week, and that led to you get the hangovers and low motivation. Your dopamine levels go down. Your serotonin levels go down because you're constantly hitting these receptors with alcohol and all that. So yeah, I started just feeling or noticing the effects of living a bad lifestyle. So I started realizing that it's not just the fitness. I had to change something, and that something was wrong. And so I started looking into just more about nutrition, and I started watching documentaries. I watched I think one of the first documentaries we watched about health was it was called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it was just about a guy that drank nothing but green juice for about 2 months, for 60 days. And he like got rid of he had all these like different medical issues, and he was way overweight. The medical issues went away, and he lost weight and all that. So I just started, it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit to like, what, because before that I didn't even eat vegetables. I thought I always make fun of people who think, that when I I would say like vegetables or like rabbit food, you know. So uh, yeah, so that kind of just opened my eyes a little bit. I was like, oh, I guess vegetables are good, and I started looking more into like greens and the benefits of eating, you know, greens and superfoods and herbs and yeah, and that led. Then I ended up going to school for nutrition, and I did a program for that. It was a 2 year program, and that like it's that just kind of changed everything for me. And it was always just for myself at first. I never really thought about helping other people with it, but first it was all me. Just kind of I wanted to heal myself and become my best self, you know, mentally, physically, and and then once I started kind of doing that and started feeling great, noticing the benefits, how much better I felt, my brain started working better, felt happier, sleeping better. You know, I started looking better. I started looking younger. So then you know, that's how I got into taking clients and started helping other people.
Awesome. So like as you got older, you realized that you were, your metabolism probably wasn't as fast, right, as you were when
Yeah,
you were younger. You were, maybe getting a little chubby in the belly area, maybe,
yeah, a little bit.
lost your six pack, right?
Yeah,
And you realize that, you know, like you wanted to think clear, right? Like a lot of the audience right now, like a lot of them are, young entrepreneurs,
mhm.
or just young, hustlers in general. And
Yeah,
a lot of them probably, one of the biggest things I get is, oh, I have low energy, or, I can't work on things for a long period of time.
hmm,
I can't, like, what supplements do you take? I always get that one, stuff like that. Like they're looking for something to, I guess, give them like that extra edge,
yeah,
or at least like be normal, like think clearly, have
hmm,
normal energy levels, at least, as a, young 20-year-old male, right? Like
yeah,
the, like, I've heard like the statistics, like the average testosterone level of of a 20-something-year-old male is like it's like half of what it used to be, right, of the previous
yeah.
generation,
Oh
or
yeah, big
or
time.
even less, right? So
Hmm.
I guess, like, what are like the biggest things that you've seen that help the average entrepreneur or person
Hmm.
to increase their energy levels, and I guess, feel better, look better, right? Like, how old are you right now?
I'm actually 43.
43. So if you guys are on the audio right now and you guys can't see Ryan, he looks like he's at most like 31, 32, right?
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean that is insane. Uh like I hope to look like Ryan when I'm like, when I'm 40 something as well. And yeah, like, and obviously like you practice what you preach. I mean, if you didn't, you'd probably look a lot older, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, could you
definitely.
go into maybe like some quick things, whether it's like sleep or nutrition?
Hmm.
Obviously my audience is very interested in all the biohacking stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's there's a lot to that, but you know, first off, I just want to say there's like no magic pill or magic supplement that's just gonna make you healthy. You know, it's like I said, it's like the full gambit. You got to cover different things. But yeah, when you're in your 20s, you can get away with a lot more. You can eat bad and maybe not gain weight, or as long as you're working out, you know, you still might look good, but you're still, even if you're young and in your early 20s, you might look good on the outside, but you're still can be destroying yourself on the inside. You're destroying your brain and your body, your liver, not just with drinking, but even just eating toxic type foods. It's hurting your liver and your health, and it's going to catch up, and you're going to start noticing it. So, um, but yeah, you know, for you're talking more for like 20-year-olds right now, or just kind
Yeah, I
of,
mean, like, more in like general. I mean, 20-year-olds,
you know,
30-year-olds. I mean, just like, I mean,
just some,
just like general tips, maybe
yeah,
for, that would help almost anybody, I'd say.
yeah. I would say big thing first. I mean, there's a lot to that, but first, sleep is
Yeah, of course.
huge. Sleep is huge. I think sleep is like the number one superfood. If you know, if you're not getting good quality sleep, not just sleeping, you know, a good amount of hours, but getting good quality sleep, that's gonna really be detrimental to your brain and brain health, and that could cause, you know, more stress. That can also cause, if you're not getting good sleep, it also uh, gives you more like cravings, like sugar cravings and junk food cravings, because you're trying to get that good feeling that you're not getting from sleeping good and having that natural chemicals in your brain working right. So you're gonna look for outside things like, like I said, fast food, sugar, junk food, candy, soda. That's typically I see that a lot with guys when they start sleeping better. The cravings really start to slow down and start to go down. So sleep is huge, and with sleep, um, just a couple quick things you could do to help improve it. A big one for sleep is, which a lot of people don't know about, is it's not really. I mean, hours are important. You want to sleep, try to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I know there's like a big hustle mentality right now, sleeping 3, 4 hours, and I was like that too in my 20s. I was in sales, and I did sales all through my 20s, and I was all about just like, work 16 hours a day, sleep 4 hours. But what you'll notice is when you're sleeping the amount of hours you should be sleeping plus getting the quality of sleep, you're actually going to produce more. You're going to be more productive throughout the day. You're going to be more creative. You're going to feel happier. You're going to have more energy. So one thing I'll say, it's not just sleeping like 6 to 8 hours, but also the time you go to sleep. So from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is that 4 hour window is where you get the most restorative sleep. So if you're missing that, let's say you're going to bed at 12 p.m., 1 a.m., which I used to do all through my 20s. The earliest I would go to bed was probably 1 a.m. So if you're going to bed and you're late and you're missing those restorative hours, you're missing on so much benefits for health and quality sleep. Even if you sleep 8 hours, let's say you go to bed at 1 a.m. and you wake up at like 9 a.m., right? You're sleeping 8 hours, but you're still not getting that good quality sleep. So, and I know this because, and I've talked to people all the time when you go to bed early, you just feel better throughout the day. You feel like, that brain fog's more lifted. You have more energy out the day. You don't crash. You're happier. You have more motivation. So 10 to 2 is huge. And I know it's hard to always go to bed at 10 p.m., but even 11 p.m., go to bed at 11 then, even 11:30, at least, so you're getting at least a couple hours. But as much as possible, try to get to bed 9:30, 10 p.m. when you can.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Sorry to
what's up?
interrupt.
No,
I
no
can
problem.
like when you say like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., I can
Yeah,
already picture in everyone's mind. They're like, "Fuck you, Ryan. There's no way I'm going. There's no way I'm going to bed at 10 p.m."
yeah.
And like, can you like give the audience like maybe like some reasons like why is 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. like the most restorative, like the best hours? Is it because it's darker? Like that's some of the things like that I think of like, and I mean I'm guilty right now. Like I'm sleeping at very late hours now, like
Yeah.
past. Sometimes I sleep at like 3, 4 a.m. and I wake up at like 9, 10 a.m. and then I carry on with my day, and I'm like, okay, like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm wearing like my blindfold when I sleep, my sleep mask, and I
Uh-huh.
have like, and I like close all the blinds and
That's good.
make
Yeah,
sure the
that's
lights are
important
off.
too.
Like, and I take my ZMA and all that, like my magnesium, and
Yeah.
like, because I obviously know the importance of sleep when I like a lot more than I used to, but I still like don't sleep at those hours. So can you give like some really good reasons why people should definitely sleep during these hours?
Well, yeah. I know, like I said too, when you're in your 20s, you can get away with a little bit more. So, but the guys, well, first of all, in your 20s, yeah, you can get away with it, but you're gonna be, like I said, you're gonna have so much more benefits even in your 20s to where it's worth it. But especially in your 30s, 40s, 50s, if you're not getting those restorative hours of sleep at least by 11:30, you're killing your production. You're gonna need more energy drinks or coffee for sure. You uh your serotonin levels, your dopamine levels could be a lot lower than they should be. And dopamine is what you need for motivation. That's the number one neurotransmitter in your brain that we need to like want to work and to be productive and to go out and make money, all that. So you're actually like killing your bank account,
Mhm.
which so yeah, I know it seems like going to bed earlier, you're missing out on something work you could be doing at night, but it's better just to get that good sleep and then produce more throughout the day. You know what I mean? Or even up till let's say you work till 8 p.m. and then you have a couple hours just to kind of calm down before you go to sleep or whatever. But uh, yeah, you're getting you're just like I said, you're almost shooting yourself in the foot by not getting those hours, those like it's from the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. because you're not getting any kind of restorative. Your brain's not recovering the way it should be when you're getting the good sleep. And like I said, it's going to affect everything: creativity, happiness, even anxiety can be higher. You're going to have more cravings for sugar, junk food. Um, it's just everything. It's like I said, sleep is the number one superfood, and you need to get the quality sleep is what is important.
Mhm. Like, why is it like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.? Is it like evolutionary? Is it like as ancestors we
Oh yeah,
slept when it was dark? Like that was more the route I was like thinking.
yeah. I forgot you were asking that. Yeah, so it looks like what they figured out is it's just what we've done since we were like cavemen or our early ancestors thousands and thousands of years ago. They weren't staying up. Once it was dark, it was dark. There's no electricity, so there was nothing to do. So,
Yeah.
like of course they had fires and maybe they did uh I know it was big for early man to do like stories by the fire and stuff like that, but like it was dark, so people wouldn't sleep. It was just we've done that for thousands and thousands of years until very recent time, maybe the last I don't know, maybe a couple hundred years. People have been staying up later, but yeah, it's just we're still that same. Our DNA is still like how our early ancestors is very similar to that. So that's one thing and it goes with along with the circadian rhythm. Our bodies just we for some reason we're programmed that way to when we're at nighttime. When it gets dark, you should pretty much after an hour or two after sunset, you should be going to sleep. And we're just designed that way that we just get way better quality sleep when we do that instead of going to bed at like 2, 3, 4 a.m. And I think it's just over evolution. That's how we always did it because, like I said, we didn't have electricity and people, and of course, you wanted to get up early. Um, like our early ancestors because they were going to go hunting and food gathering. So they were probably getting up, right as the sun came up, and they were going to sleep as the sun was going down, that's exactly what you want to be doing. That's like the most perfect scenario, going to bed at like right as the sun goes down, which I know you can't do that every day.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying you got to do this, you got to be perfect 100% of the time, but just know if you could be doing this, going to bed earlier, a lot more, um, more days out of your week, you're gonna notice the benefits. Just even just how you feel in general, like your happiness levels and stress too. I know stress is big for entrepreneurs and business owners and sales guys and people that work in offices. And so yeah, like I said, you're gonna be more productive by doing that. And you're saying something about testosterone too, how testosterone's getting lower.
Mhm.
Testosterone's huge for you. Got to get good sleep to if you want your testosterone levels to be where they should be. And that goes along too with energy and fat loss, libido, motivation. Like testosterone is huge. We need that as men. So that's another big benefit to sleeping right.
Yeah, there's so much there I want to go into. Like I don't even know where to start. So it's like as close as you can get to like the evolutionary standard that we, like because we've spent so, as you said, like we've spent so much time like living that way, right? And it's not just
Yeah,
all because the past 100, 200 years that we invented electricity and all these other things that have allowed us to stay up longer and later, right? Like
yeah,
we can
yeah.
work at any time of the day or night or whatever. Like
Mhm.
our bodies, like our mind and body hasn't changed. Like it hasn't evolved yet to adapt to that, right?
Yeah,
And it's not like just with sleep, right? It's like, of course, ideally, it's like, oh, you sleep like, as soon as the sun goes down, and then, you get up right as the sun comes up. You sleep at 9 p.m. You get up at 5 a.m. That's,
yeah,
that's the best, right? Obviously, right?
yeah.
It's not just with sleep. It's like with food too, right? Like, like nowadays we have all these like processed, shit, pretty much, and whenever you eat something that comes on like a package, whatever it is, it's
Mhm.
really bad for you. Like we never evolved, eating that stuff. Like we always ate like real foods, right? And I mean, the diet that I've, been eating for the past, like 5, 6 years has always been like just real food. Like if it comes in package, I'm not gonna eat it. Like, only like real, like meats, like steak or, or eggs or fruit. Like that's like all I eat,
Yeah.
and like any yeah, so like anything like, like chips or, or I don't know, anything that's like has that like process comes in package, you can pretty much, it's safe to say it's probably not gonna be good for you, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Definitely.
uh I guess like we can go into a little bit about nutrition. I know we're like all over the place, but like
Yeah.
what is your take on like nutrition? Is it like because there's so many different takes, right? It's like, oh,
Hmm.
like this diet is good for you. Oh, it depends on who you are as a person. And
Yeah.
while I've been like, I feel like there's like a standard that everyone can eat
Mhm.
that would be good for you because that's how we evolved eating, right? Or is it
Yeah.
like, oh, vegan's the best or whatever, Like, what's your
Yeah,
take on
like, well, I mean, no, there's no like I was kind of saying, there's no exact diet for everybody that everybody can kind of follow. All humans, we all have different biochemistry, but there's some good guidelines that pretty much works for everybody. Um, like sugar, everybody knows sugars for the most part. People know that sugar's not good. I'm not talking about fruit or yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about fruit, that type of thing. I'm talking more about like refined sugar, the white sugar, the kind of sugar you're pouring in your coffee or what you're seeing in sodas or like processed foods, like you're talking about. They're just adding tons of sugar to make, because Americans, especially Americans, are addicted to sugar, you know. So I know you're saying like my thing for myself. I mean, I'm big on just like you're talking about like real food, you know, uh, vegetables, fruit, nuts, seeds. I don't do too much red meat anymore. I stopped doing red meat about a few years back just because it didn't work for me. Um, I do more fish, like and wild caught fish. And I'm not eating like the farm raised stuff. It's just full of hormones. Those types of they're pumping the fish full of hormones and they're feeding them dog food and it's you want if you're gonna eat fish, try to get like I said like wild caught.
that?
Same thing with like red meat. You want to get like free range, hormone free chicken. Same thing. The what you want. The big thing is the hormones. You really want to make sure they're not adding hormones. But yeah, real food. Not all the. You really want to as much as you can get rid of the processed junk, anything that's packaged and. Actually, not everything that's packaged is necessarily bad. You need to read labels. Really, is what I should be saying. You got to be checking for if they're not just the carbs, but on the nutrition label, it'll say like included sugar or added sugars. That's the white powdered sugar. That's the stuff you want to really avoid. Um, but yeah, try to eat as much real food as possible. And that's like the foundation. But then everybody's kind of different. Like I said, I don't really do well with red meat. So I stick to more fish for meat, and but some people are great with that. It really depends on your DNA and your ancestry and what your ancestors were eating. So if you are going to be eating like red meat or chicken, just go, like I said, go for the hormone free stuff. Where they're not adding a bunch of hormones, especially with the for men with with red meat, because a lot of the red meat, especially like in hamburgers, they're using the dairy cows. Like after they're done, like they're old and they're done producing milk. So those dairy cows are full of hormones, that they're pumping them full of hormones to keep them producing milk and having babies. So when you're eating that hamburger, you're getting all those, you're also getting those hormones, those female hormones too, which as men, of course, you don't want a bunch of female hormones. And you see that a lot with guys, the estrogen levels getting high, testosterone levels going down. That's what causes typically a gut. You'll get that from just too much estrogen, like the beer belly and all that.
These are really good tips, man. I mean, what's like a good resource to like, I guess, because I buy all my like steak from like Costco or whatever, and I
Yeah.
guess I've never looked at the labels to make sure it's like, oh, it's hormone free or whatever. Like, where do you normally buy your, I guess, your fish or,
Yeah.
whatever?
Costco, Sprouts. Costco, you can get either, they have both. They have for the fish, they have the wild caught and they have the farm stuff. So you can get the good stuff at Costco. Sprouts is really good.
Mhm.
I think I don't know if Costco has. I'm sure they do have some, uh, at least some a section where they have like the organic and the hormone free red meat. I'm sure they have it there, but I've never really checked for on Costco. But Sprouts definitely has it. Whole Foods, of course. And I pretty much almost every city now in America has a Sprouts, if not a Whole Foods. Um, but yeah, Costco is getting really good lately. It's got a lot better the last couple of years, so you can get some good organic, like clean meat at Costco for sure.
Okay, awesome. So sum it down. It depends on who you are as a person. How do
Yep.
you figure out like what diet is like would be best for you? Like, do you have to like take like a blood test? Do you have to do like ancestry.com or something? It's like what
Yeah.
is I guess
Yeah.
like how do you figure it out? Right.
There's like food intolerance tests. I have my clients do those, like the blood tests, where it can kind of show you some markers of what foods could be, cause inflammation or that won't be the best food for you. You could also, I have my clients just pay attention to their body. You if you eat something and you feel like low energy or bloated or you have gas, you're just not feeling good. Maybe you get like that food coma that people talk about. That's probably not the best food for your body, you know?
Mm.
So you got to pay attention to how you feel. You should feel good after you eat, it shouldn't just kill your energy. It definitely should not be causing bloated. That just means the food is not digesting properly, and it's kind of just sitting in your gut and causing all these gas fermenting and gas getting causing the gases. So um, yeah, pay attention to your body. But there's also some good blood tests you can take, yeah, like food tolerance testing, and just to see what foods might not be the best for you. But like I said, sugar is big for everybody. We know that, like refined sugar. Really, we shouldn't be eating or keeping it to as much as a minimum as possible. Wheat is a big one. For most people are not going to be good with wheat. Wheat just converts into fat. It's just like sugar. It's like you're eating sugar when you eat any kind of wheat. That's like bagels, cookies, bread. It's in everything. That cereal. That's another food that Americans are addicted to is wheat. It's like in it's in all those packaged foods, granola bars, protein bars. So that's another big one that most people aren't going to be good with. But really, the best way to just feel, how you feel after you eat. Then you shouldn't probably be eating that.
Awesome. Yeah, like have you ever read The Ultra Mind Solution by Mark Hyman?
No,
Have you heard of it?
no. Ultra Mind Solution?
Yeah.
No, I know Mark Hyman. You said Mark Hyman, right?
Yeah, Mark Hyman. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard it. I know him, but I haven't read that book now. What's it get into?
Yeah, it's like a nutrition book I read like a while ago, and
Yeah,
it talked about like the three white poisons or whatever, and it was
the
like
White
sugar.
Devils. Yeah,
Yeah,
White
the white
Devils.
devils. It was like sugar, white flour, and I think he said it was salt.
The
I
White
forgot.
Devils are typically refined sugar,
Hmm.
flour,
Yeah,
and or I'm sorry, wheat flour
yeah.
and dairy, like
Hmm.
especially you know non-organic and uh, like cheese, that type of thing. Salt, no, salt's good if depends on the salt though. Like typical table salt, like the Morton's brand is a good example. That's iodized salt. I think that's how they call it, iodized iodized salt. It's like processed salt. That's what you really want to avoid. But real salt, like sea salt, um, a Himalayan salt. I like it's a Celtic sea salt. That's a really good salt. But yeah, we need that. It's minerals, and our that's the most common deficiency in America is mineral deficiency. You're no one's not everybody's getting enough protein. Everybody's definitely getting enough carbs. What we're deficient in is minerals, and salt is a good way to get minerals. And you don't want to be like, you know, putting tablespoons and tablespoons of salt in your food, but a little bit of I'll put like Celtic sea salt even in my water, a little bit in water. It's like drinking a electrolyte drink. Also, yeah, you put in your food. Just make sure it's a good salt. Like I said, Himalayan salt, sea salt. Make sure it's a good like a good brand, quality. But yeah, I'd stay away from the table salt and the Morton salt for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I use they have one at Costco. It's like a big it's like a square bottle or something,
Yeah,
or a container, and
yeah.
it's like Himalayan pink sea salt.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good.
Or
That's
yeah,
real
or like from the
salt.
mountains. Yeah, yeah. And I use that for like the steak and everything. Uh
Yeah, yeah. That's
just
real salt, and it's full of minerals. That's the Celtic sea salt has it has like 84 essential minerals for the human body. So
oh
that's
shit.
that's why I like the Celtic sea salt. But yeah, that's what you want. You want real salt. But of course, don't go huge. Don't overdo it. it could cause even like good salts they can still cause like water retention and bloating and stuff like that. But we definitely need salt. We need minerals. We need real minerals, and that's like, yeah, it's so important for brain health, and every function in your body is dependent on minerals.
Mhm. Awesome.
So
Yeah, I mean, we've covered like sleep, nutrition. I mean, we
no,
get the
let me give you one more thing
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
nutrition because
yeah. Go, go,
it's
go, go.
important, and
Yeah.
it's hard to figure out exactly what to eat at first. But a good tip uh, for guys out there that if you want to lose weight or even start getting um, your brain to work better throughout the day is eating your breakfast later, like having breakfast for lunch, pretty much,
Mhm.
and then and having your dinner earlier, like 3 hours before you go to bed. It's called intermittent fasting. You probably heard of that, right?
Yeah,
A lot of guys are
doing it
doing
well.
yeah, you do 16 hours. That's like the common one, like 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating, or meal times in that 8 hours. But really, you just got to just push your breakfast later. It's hard at first to go all the way till 12 or 1, like a lot of guys are doing. But even if you can push it till, of course, it too depends on time you wake up. But you could start with maybe 2 hours after 2 to 3 hours after you wake up, have your first meal instead of right away. A lot, we've always, since we were kids, we were eating breakfast as soon as we woke up in the morning, which is definitely the wrong thing to be doing. You'll notice, and there's all kinds of like some studies and research out there, and also just from people talking about how they have so much more energy and less brain fog when they're eating later. Even workouts are better. I hit the gym in the morning before I eat, and my workouts are so much better. You have so much more energy, but yeah, you'll also have just more energies for work too. And then uh, when you're eating in that window, especially eating later and then eating earlier before you go to bed, you're burning fat. You're burning more because now you don't have any. Uh, your insulin levels aren't up from eating, and you don't have any food, so you're not burning the calories for energy. You're going to start burning fat for energy, and that's what you want. Especially if you're trying to lose weight, you want to get into those fat stores, and that's what fasting does. So, and then the other thing with eating later, I'm sorry, eating earlier before you go to bed, you just get better quality sleep. That's another thing that goes into sleep. Like, you really want to do your best to eat as early as you, or as 3 hours or more before you go to sleep. Because if you eat right before bed, which a lot of guys do, especially if you're working late and you're eating as when you're working, you're digesting food while you're sleeping, so your body is working, and that's what we don't want. That we don't want to be our body's working while we're supposed to be resting. So that's another biggie to get better quality sleep is making sure, yeah, you're eating earlier. 3 hours is good. If you can get 3 hours before you go to bed, that's perfect.
Those are
So that's just
fantastic
another,
tips.
and that's a good tip, just because I know, like, especially in the beginning, it's you don't have to even change your diet. You can, this is just changing the times, and even just without even changing your diet, you could start losing weight just by minimizing, keeping it to the 8, 10, even 10 hour, 12-hour window of eating, and the rest of the time be fasting. And working out fasting, that's huge. Definitely work out fasting, because you're going to be burning a lot more fat that way.
Mhm. Yeah, like right now, I'm like, as soon as I get up, I work out,
Yeah.
and I do like an extreme form, I guess, of intermittent fasting. And yeah, I guess you can tell me whether it's good or bad, right?
Okay.
So I do like the OMAD, like one meal a day thing,
Okay,
and
that's good.
I only do like one big dinner, right? But but uh, well, I work out first thing whenever I wake up, right? Uh, and then right after I work out, I take like a green supplement, uh, and I also have like a protein shake. I don't know if that breaks my fast. Does that break? Would that break the fast?
Protein shake, yeah. I mean, well, it depends. Yeah, usually a protein shake with, like, what is, like, a whey protein, probably.
Yeah, like a whey protein.
Yeah, you're most likely breaking your fast, because it's
Hmm.
it's it's food. That's still
Hmm.
food. So
Okay.
the best thing to do, what I have guys do, is like glutamine after because you're talking about after a workout, you want something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could take glutamine.
Glutamine.
Glutamine, yeah, glutamine's an amino acid, which is the building blocks of protein. And glutamine, BCAAs, don't believe BCAAs will break your fast either. That's also branched chain amino acids,
Hmm.
but glutamine for sure. That's what I typically do
Okay.
after the workout, and it won't break your fast. But you can, you can have like green juice is okay as long as there's no fruit in the green juice, like just vegetables juice like that. That's okay during your fast. Coffee is okay, black coffee, tea, like green tea, of course, water, but nothing that's even green powders are it's gonna break your fast.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Green
yeah,
powder
because
as
it's
well.
food. Yeah, it's food. It's still food. It's a bed. It's like probably a bunch of vegetables, right? Turned into a powder. The green
Yeah.
powder that you're using. Yeah. So yeah, you're still gonna break your fast. I mean, it's not the worst thing if you're not eating like pancakes and eggs or something. But if you really want to be in that good that fat burning mode, it's better to just keep it to coffee. Even you don't even have to do black coffee. A lot of you've probably heard of like the bulletproof coffees where guys are adding MCT oil, which is really like a coconut oil.
Yeah.
You could do that, blend it in. So if you want to have that more creamier coffee, just don't add any sugar to the coffee.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
So that's a
super
biggie
cool.
though. If you want to just for fat loss and mental health, that's a good one. That's a good one that guys can start implementing right away without even changing your diet. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
gets
because
easier the more you do it. You probably noticed. You said you're doing one meal a day, right?
yeah, like just one dinner. Yeah, I'd like
It's just a big, huge dinner, right?
yeah, just a big like steak dinner with eggs and fruit and shit.
Yeah. What time do you usually eat?
Like
Typically, like 6, maybe 7.
I mean, depends. Like around 8 usually, you know.
Okay. So you're
Uh
going the whole day, and you're waking up. What time are you typically waking up at?
so I normally wake up at around like 10, I'd say 9 or 10.
So
Yeah.
10. So you're going about what? What is that? 10 hours? Yeah, about from 10 to 8, right? Yeah.
Well,
Oh no, I'm sorry. 8 hours. Wait, no. 12. Yeah, 10 hours. I can't think right now. My
y-
math.
yes. Well, okay, so if I'm eating dinner at 8 and
Yeah.
then I don't
No,
eat
I'm saying
again.
10 hours after you wake up. I'm saying like you're
Oh
going
yeah,
10
yeah.
hours from waking, 10
Hmm.
hours without eating. That's good. And then what time do you usually let's say what time's your typical last meal
What
or your
time?
dinner?
Well, like dinner is
Oh,
like
wait, it's 8.
yeah,
Eight's your last meal.
yeah, it's my last
Oh,
meal.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going like 23, 24 hours then.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, like
of the
23.
full fast. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing pretty much a full fast every day.
Yeah,
A full day
exactly.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the mono meal, right? Or
Hmm.
which is good. I can't do it because it's hard for me that you have to get a lot of food in
Hmm.
for at one time. I usually do. I'll have my first meal like 1:30. But remember too, I get up early. I get up at like 5 a.m. and I have my dinner usually at like 5:36. So, but yeah, it just depends on your schedule, like what time you're having your dinner, what time you're waking up. Um, but you'd probably notice, right? You got easier the more you did it over time. It got easier to fast that long, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What,
Yeah.
what benefits did you notice by doing the one meal?
So in terms of like mental clarity, like
Yeah,
insane. Every time I eat, I don't know like why, but I maybe it's only because I eat like once a day or something. But like I
yeah.
feel like slower after I eat. Like
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
know. So
It's definitely gonna slow you down, especially
yeah.
when you've been fasting all day and you're probably full of
Mhm.
energy and you're light. You're feeling good.
Yeah. So like your tip about like what is it like making sure you eat like 3 hours before you sleep or something?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, like it's really hard for me not to just like collapse and just go to bed right after because I know it's bad for you to like sleep right
yeah,
after you eat, right? And I'm just
yeah,
like, oh man, like is there a way to like not feel this tired? Like because I'm like so slow for like an hour or 2 hours right after I eat,
yeah.
and I'm
Well, so
just
you're
like
eating a lot, probably, right? I mean, you're eating a big meal.
yeah,
It could be what you're eating too, partially. What's you said meat, eggs,
fruit.
maybe salad or something like that, fruit.
Yeah, just steak, eggs, and fruit. I don't even like eat like I don't really eat any vegetables anymore because I mean I take like a green supplement called like Athletic Greens.
Yeah,
Shout
that's a
out.
good one. Yeah, I know
Shout
them.
out
Yeah, they're
whatever.
good.
Yeah, and like and I mean they say it's like like a serving of vegetables or something. So I'm like okay, that's all I take
Yeah,
for for veggies. And I
yeah, they're
heard
like superfoods too, which is good.
yeah, and I heard like if you actually eat like entire like vegetables, like certain ones, it's not good for your like digestive system or something. Um, because it's
Or
like has
what
to
certain vegetables?
yeah, certain vegetables like you have to like you have to like break it down and stuff
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
yeah, so like I've heard that. So I'm like, oh, I'll just take a green supplement because it's easily digestible, right?
yeah.
But you said it like breaks my fast. So like do you recommend that, because I know a lot of people like do this as well. Like they work out first thing in the morning, then they just instantly take a protein shake along with other stuff. Like should they not do that? And like they should take that like with their like meal later on in the day or
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
protein shake's not the worst thing in the world, but if you're trying to lose weight, like I said, when you want to lose fat, you
Mm,
really want to not have anything that's food based, like even a protein shake is food based. But for you, I mean, you're already probably in a you're not really necessarily trying to lose fat, right, or lose
no,
weight.
I
So
mean,
if you have a protein shake, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world for you, and it's not going to really hurt your energy because it's just powder. You're digesting it. Even the athletic greens,
yeah,
you are breaking your fast, but it's so light and it's so highly absorbable and easy to digest that you're not necessarily going to cause you're not going to get tired or brain fog or whatever. Like if you eat a big meal, like what happens for dinner time.
yeah,
But for the guys really wanting to lose fat, you do glutamine after a workout or branch chain amino acids, BCAs. Um, that's like even like even like almond milks are okay if it's because they filter the fiber out, so you're pretty much just eating or you're drinking the milk fat or the fat of the almonds and water. That's all. So fat's okay. That's another thing I didn't mention. Like with the bulletproof doing the MCT oil or coconut oil. If it's pure fat, it doesn't actually necessarily make you fast. Um, so if, there's other stuff too that like butter. A lot of guys do butter just to kind of keep them going. If you get like our good organic or like organic ghee, which is another, it's like a better quality butter, just to get something in you, if to keep you going. But yeah, it's the best thing to do is just water. Green juice is another one. Green juice can really help you fast longer because you're getting all those nutrients. So it's kind of not necessarily filling you up, but you're getting all the nourishment. So it helps with cravings and keeps your hunger levels low. But it has to be pure veggies like celery, greens, and juice. I'm not talking about blended like a smoothie, like a real juice where they juice it.
right.
That's another thing you can do instead of the athletic greens. If you really want to fast and keep your fast going, just do the green juice instead and do the athletic greens maybe an hour before you have your dinner. So you're still can get it in,
Mhm.
but do that first because you want that athletic greens is very highly absorbable. You don't want to eat the athletic greens or any kind of superfood powder or green food powder with food because then you're not going to get the absorption as much. You want to be
Right.
on like empty stomach.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say just do the athletic greens maybe an hour before dinner if you really want to be in like that true fasting mode. But for you, I mean, you don't have to be perfect. Like I said, you're not trying to like really lose weight or anything.
No.
It's more for guys that want to like burn fat and
Mhm.
that type of lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Like if anything,
What?
I'm like trying to like gain weight, but it's like it's
Yeah.
really hard for me
Because
because
you eat one time a day, so
yeah, exactly. So it's like I mean I eat like a lot. Like I eat like at least like 2 to 3 pounds of steak,
yeah,
and I have like like I eat like I crack the eggs into like a cup, and then I
yeah.
just drink like a
And just
dozen
drink them.
eggs. I just drink like a
Like
dozen eggs, and
it's
then I
old
have
school
like
style.
yeah, and then I have like 2 pounds of fruit, and then that's my like dinner, and
Yeah,
I think I get a decent amount of calories. I think from that.
yeah. You're eating a
Uh,
lot. It's just that whole day you're just burning fat like crazy. That's why you're staying so lean.
yeah.
I could say for that you could do make sure you're lifting heavy weight
Hmm.
because if you want to gain real weight, the best way is you got to gain muscle. So, but yeah, you could also smoothies are good to gain because smoothies you can cram a ton. When you eat fruit, do you just eat the fruit?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you want to, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean you can do that way too. Or what's good about the smoothies, it's just like the athletic greens with the powder. You're blending all the fruit and the veggies and I'll throw hemp seeds in there too and for added protein.
Hmm.
Um, so you're blending all that. You can put a ton in there. You blend it up, so it's doing all the chewing for you. It's liquefying the it's liquefying all this food. So when you drink it, it's absorbing really easily in your body. You're getting all those nutrients. Whereas when you're just eating, a lot of times, especially when we're busy, and it's just the American, or like Americans, especially we don't eat, we don't chew our food the way we're supposed to. We're supposed to really chew the food until it's like pretty much a paste, but most people, you chew it a couple times and you swallow food, go for the next one. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you're doing that, you're not going to get good digestion. You're not going to get good absorption. So you're kind of wasting all that food. So make sure you're chewing your food well, or also make some smoothies. Then the blender's doing all the chewing for you. It's kind of like a hack. Then you're definitely absorbing everything, and you can get a lot of calories into that blender, because you can take down a ton of fruits and vegetables, and just drink it. It's easy, instead of eating like a huge salad, or
Right.
or eating a ton of fruit. But also with the smoothies, which like I said, hemp seeds are really good, because hemp seeds is a complete protein. Same, it has all the essential amino acids that we need for protein. Just like chicken does, or fish, or whatever. So hemp seeds are good to add to your smoothies, and it tastes kind of like it's like milk when you blend it up with water in your smoothie. It turns into like a hemp milk. It's really good, kind of like almond milk, or coconut milk, whatever. Almonds are throwing some almonds in there, Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds are high in protein. Get some good nuts and seeds in there too, in the smoothies, or you could throw them on top of your salads like that too.
So everyone should get their smoothie game up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely. Smoothies are awesome. They're great for guys too. That's why I always have my clients do them, because a lot of guys don't want to necessarily cook all the time or prepare a huge meal. They're great for just if you just want to make a quick, takes 5 minutes to make a smoothie, and it's you can make a highly nutritious meal in 5 minutes, and it's easy. You take it, you make it, take it with you to work. So it's great for on the go. It's always my first meal too. That's how I break my fast. It's with a big smoothie or a smoothie bowl, because then you're getting all that. You're on empty stomach. You're getting those nutrients in an easy, highly absorbable way. So you're absorbing everything.
Awesome.
Don't eat a big meal and then have a smoothie. Is what I'm saying.
Right. So it'd be better if you have that smoothie maybe an hour before you eat like real food, and then you have that after, maybe. Or
yeah, well, for you, because you only eat one meal a day, you could do a smoothie, and then like 30 minutes, an hour later, have your big meal. And you're eating a lot of fruit anyway, so fruit you should always do before meat anyway. You don't want to eat fruit and meat together at the same time, because they digest at different times. Fruit digests really fast, and of course, steak and meat, it's a muscle. You're eating pure muscle, so muscles, of course, it's harder to digest. Red meat, chicken, even fish. It's a longer process. So you don't want fruit and the meat mixing in and digesting at different times. It's going to cause bloating and all that. So have your fruit, veggies always first.
That's a great tip. I've never heard that before.
Even 30 minutes, because a smoothie especially, and you can throw your athletic greens in the smoothie. That could be you throw that in there. That's what I do with my green powders and stuff. I always throw it in the smoothies. But even 30 minutes is good, because you're digesting it so quick. As long as you blend it good, make sure you have a good blender and blend it for at least a minute, so it completely liquefies.
What blend do you use, man?
I use a Vitamix. Those are the top of the line. Yeah, those Vitamix are the Beamers for blenders. Okay. Vitamix are really good. Vitamix is good. You could also get Blendtec. Those are good.
Blendtec.
If you want to save a little money, like a little cheaper version that's still pretty good, is the NutriBullet RX. That's another good one. Those are like $100, and they're actually pretty good. They might not last as long as a Vitamix, but the NutriBullet RX is good. The Vitamix is about $500, but it's worth it. It'll last you 10 years for sure. You can do anything with it. I make coconut yogurt with almonds, and it's like a yogurt, the high protein yogurt. It's got tons of almonds in it, and it liquefies it to complete like a cream. It's hard to do that with not the best, kind of a shitty blender is not going to do that.
Awesome. This is good. So
good blender is definitely a good investment. It's that smoothies are game changers, and that's what got me into. I like I said, I need to eat vegetables. Like all through my 20s, I barely ate, you know, fruits or vegetables. So the blender or the smoothies just got made it easier for me to eat. Like I didn't like the taste of greens. You know, they're especially when I first started getting into this, it tasted like cardboard to me. You know, super bitter.
Uh-huh.
Uh, your taste buds actually get smarter the more you start eating better foods. You know, and stuff starts tasting better. So now like greens taste really good to me. But in the beginning, I would just throw a ton of greens and then a lot of fruit because I, you know, fruit tastes good. It's sweet. You throw some bananas in there and mangoes and you know, anything you like fruit and just blend it up, and you can't even taste the greens anymore. So it's a good way to get the greens in, and it fills you up. It's a good way to like cut cravings, and you're getting a lot of food, and it's filling you up. So that's good because you're not going to have want to eat bad stuff later. You know, that's why I like it I always tell people to do it as their first meal because then it sets you up for the rest of the day. You know, most people, even if you know you eat a couple of hours after you wake up, they got the whole day. So have a good first meal, like a smoothie, even a smoothie bowl, lots of fruit, lots of vegetables. That'll set you up for the rest of the day. You're gonna make way better choices throughout the day because you got so much nutrition. You know, you're not nutrient deficient. A lot of cravings come from deficiency. You know, mineral deficiency, just vitamin deficiency. That's what you know cravings come from. You know, so um, that's a good way to start the day. You know, a smoothie, and yeah, it changed my life for sure.
Awesome. So fruit, veggie, smoothie, maybe throw in like some hemp seeds in there.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
protein, you know, make it,
Mhm.
and it tastes better. You got to throw some kind of liquid just to get it going. So just water, or you can do like almond milk, coconut milk, hemp seeds. Like I like the best. It's you know it's a good protein. It has other benefits too. Hemp is it's a really powerful superfood,
Mhm.
and it's not going to get you high. There's no THC in the store bought hemp seeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it
Just
has some other benefits
yeah.
like you know stress relief stuff like that.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, what's your opinion on almond milk? Because I've heard like mixed reviews about that. Like some people are like, "Oh, it's really bad for you," and some people are like, "Oh, it's really good for you," because like I've heard both sides, and the people that
Yeah,
say it's bad for you say it's like it's made a certain way where it's like super processed or something.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's like anything. There's good versions and you know the bad versions. You want to look for organic, of course. Organic's always going to be better, and there's certain ingredients like certain what's it called? They're used for like a preservative, like I can't think of the word right now. What are the ingredients? Carnelian, I think it's called. That's one you want to avoid because it's just it's not a good it's not a good I don't know the exact I haven't researched the exact like why it's bad, but it's just not good for us. You know, it's some type of preservative. It's not good. So look for just organic. You know, it should just be almonds and water, really, for the ingredients of almond. If you're just doing almonds and water, yeah, you're fine. But if there's all these other crazy ingredients, if there's a bunch of sugar, some of these brands are adding a lot of sugar too, refined sugar. So of course that's not good. You know, so look for no added sugar. You know, organic, just simple ingredients, almonds, water. You know, same thing with like cashew milk, coconut milk. Look for no sugar added and just minimal ingredients. Or you could just do it yourself at home, but that's the best way. Or you just like hemp milk, super easy to make. You just add water in a blender and you add a few tablespoons of hemp, and you blend it up, and you just made milk. You know, then it's for sure. There's no other ingredients or anything that's. And you could do the same thing with almond milk. You know, you blend almonds. The only thing with almonds, you got to strain it though. Once you're done blending it up, you strain it. Cashews, same thing. Throw a handful of cashews in there, and water, and blend it up. You got cashew milk. It's much better. Even the store bought almond milk is still going to be way better for you than typical just dairy milk. You know, it's still a lot better for you than that. So yeah, but yeah, of course, it's better just to make it yourself. You know, if you got the time to do that.
obviously, yeah, no, like obviously, like dairy milk is really bad for you, correct? Like if it's pasteurized or homogenized or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's like it's got tons of hormones. Like same with like I was saying with the red meat, they're pumping these cows full of hormones, so they constantly can create milk. You know, and so yeah, just dairy's got some issues. I mean, if you could get like raw goat milk. That's a way better version. Organic, if organic, of course, is gonna be better. No hormones added. Um, but I just try to avoid milk altogether. I haven't drank milk in years, and I feel great. You can get all the calcium you need from almonds and nuts and seeds and greens. You're getting tons of calcium, all the same minerals. And they're even saying now with dairy milk that we're not even absorbing the calcium that's in it.
Yeah.
That's why osteoporosis is so high. Why is osteoporosis so high when we've been drinking milk, tons of milk in America for 100 years, but osteoporosis is still very high. So something's not right with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what's that?
Like it's like a myth that like milk gives you a lot of calcium, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's calcium in it. We're just not absorbing it, or unless you're maybe getting like I said, like a goat milk, like or raw goat milk, or really clean, even raw dairy milk that's like no hormones added to it, just non-pasteurized or whatever. But yeah, I just try to avoid dairy as much as possible. It's just full of hormones, especially just the typical store-bought brand, or store-bought milk. It's better just to go for like almond milk or cashew milk, and it tastes good if you could find the right brand. It's really similar. Like cashew milk's really good. There's some really good almond milks out there. Hemp milk tastes good. You could always add if you make like hemp milk, you can add like a date. You put a date in there, kind of sweeten it up a little bit. You can add a little bit of monk fruit if you want to sweeten it up a little bit. It tastes better. Monk fruit's a sweetener. Looks like sugar. It tastes like sugar, but it doesn't skyrocket your insulin levels. And it's actually monk fruit. If you have monk fruit, you don't break a fast either, which is cool about monk fruit.
I've never heard of that.
It's like stevia. You heard of stevia?
Yeah, stevia. Yeah.
Yeah, similar, like 0-calorie sweetener, but it's not. It's natural. It's not like a chemical like aspartame or sucralose. Those are the ones you want to avoid. Those chemical sweeteners.
So stevia is fine.
Yeah, stevia is another good sweetener. It's nuts. It's a plant. Of course, there's always better options. For quality and all that. So organic, of course, is better. Lakanto makes a really good monk fruit sweetener, and I'm telling you, it tastes exactly like sugar. It's a good way to cut like sugar out of your diet is buy monk fruit sweetener. Awesome. You can add it to anything. It's just like sugar. You can make cookies with it. Add it to your smoothie if you want to sweeten up your smoothie, whatever.
These are really good nutrition tips, man. I'm sure not many people have heard about this, and I mean, I've been in like the nutrition game a while, and I've never heard of this. So,
awesome. I mean, nutrition's it's a huge, broad thing. That's why, especially in the beginning, I just try to keep it simple, and the foundation. You got to build the foundation first, and start getting that healthy lifestyle. Once people start feeling better, they start feeling good, they start noticing differences. Then they want to get deeper. Then you can take it deeper. But the main thing is just eating less hours a day and avoiding the toxic poison. It's not even food, like fast food and shit. And people talk a lot about, like, you see a lot of, like, in the nutrition business or even in like fitness and nutrition, like having a cheat day and all that, which is cool. But it's like you're almost like saying like, oh, I'm gonna put a bunch of toxins and poisons in my body to like as a reward. It doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
Why not just eat something that tastes really good that's also good for you? There's so much food that's healthy that tastes amazing too. You just got to see what you like and what works for you. And your taste buds, the more you get into this stuff and you start eating better, your taste buds get smarter. They heal. And food starts tasting like the healthy stuff starts tasting way better. So it's kind of like that whole thing where people think that healthy food, it's not going to taste good or something.
Yeah,
it definitely can taste it.
It's like healthy food is like really like, oh, you have to do it, and it's miserable when you're doing it. And then you save up for like this cheat day where you're all out with like the pizza, the burgers, the fries and stuff. Yeah, but it's like,
and then you feel like shit, for 2 days.
Oh yeah, you always feel like shit after you eat that.
You get a hangover. It's like alcohol. You get a hangover. It kills your motivation. Kills your energy. So why? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, of course, we're not going to be perfect, but just just try to keep. I tell people just try to keep the toxic stuff to a minimum, and that takes time. You got to learn. You got to learn how to navigate menus when you're out to eat and when you're traveling. And you got to understand how to go to the grocery store and what items to be having, to have to buy that you have at your house. And what it's just it takes time like anything. But like I said, it's a whole lifestyle thing that you're creating a new way of thinking and creating a whole new lifestyle that you can do the rest of your life. And it's you want to just not just like I said, like cut calories or whatever. That's gonna last you the rest of your life, and that's not gonna create anti-aging, keep you looking good and feeling good, and brain health, testosterone. You really got to figure out what works for your body. That's what's gonna help you thrive, in the long run. So yeah, the full gambit of health, figuring out what is the best lifestyle for you and making it work long term. Instead of just these fad diets, it's most of the time they don't last. So people do it, they go on some diet, and then 6 months later they're right back to their old habits again. And they gain all the way back. So it's all it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, like what would you say to the people that are like, Ryan, like you're taking life too seriously, man. Like you gotta let loose a bit, you gotta eat some pizza once in a while, like because I get that all the time, like when I'm
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
I'm out and like like how a lot of ketchup has like the high fructose corn syrup and stuff.
yeah,
And so like I never have like restaurant ketchup ever, really. And because I'm
uh,
like, oh, it's not organic. And then people
yeah.
are like, bro, you gotta like loosen up or whatever. And I'm just like, nah, man, like I'm gonna feel like shit after. Like,
Yeah.
what would you say to like those people who are like, yeah, like no, like you can just relax, just eat some cake, have a few burgers, just chill, man,
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you can get all those things in a healthier version. There's healthy alternatives now for everything, for pizza, for cookies, for cake. Like I said, monk fruit is a good. You could like you go to Whole Foods or Sprouts now, they have cookies and cakes like the keto stuff. It's all made from usually monk fruit or stevia, so it's all out there. Pizza, you can get the like for example, like Blaze Pizza is one of them that does like the gluten free dough, where I think they use rice, and then they have a cauliflower crust. So they're not using wheat. They have a keto crust where I think they use like egg and cauliflower. But I usually just like do the gluten free one. But yeah, I like eat pizza.
Yeah.
You don't have to like I said, healthy food can taste good, and but yeah, you don't. Of course, it depends on the person too. How far you want to take it. Like with anything, I like feeling good all the time. I like to feel as good as possible, and I'm older too. I'm in my 40s, so I'll feel it way more if I go eat a pizza or
Yeah.
something like a regular Domino's pizza or a hamburger, or, Del Taco or something like that. I'm gonna definitely feel it more than maybe if you're somebody 22, 23. But you're definitely don't have to deprive yourself of anything because, like I said, there's alternatives now for everything. So even soda now they have Zevia is a good brand, Zevia. They make like Coke, root beer, Sprite, like or the same flavor. It's called something different, but yeah, Zevia soda. They're not using any sugar, then they're using stevia as a sweetener. So 0 calorie, there's no sugar. So yeah, there's ice cream you can get with monk fruit or stevia in it now, non-dairy. So I'm telling you, man, I'm not like hurting for for food, or I'm not like I don't feel like I'm depriving myself definitely. But I've been doing it a long time too, and I've learned what works, and my taste buds have changed and they've adapted, and everything. Like the stuff I eat tastes really, really good to me. But yeah, if you're on vacation or you're traveling, I know it gets tough. Yeah, I talk to my clients about this all the time. Or you're at a work party, things come up. You're at a wedding. You just do what I tell people is do the best you can with the options you're provided that are in front of you. Just you got to learn how to just navigate a menu at a restaurant, or know what if you're at a party, make the best choice available to you, and you do that by learning about this stuff, learning what foods are good and what's not good. So you don't have to just stay home all day and only eat at home. You can still go out, go to restaurants, and you just look for the better option. The best option that's available to you at that moment.
Definitely.
And
Like,
it's
would you?
worth it.
Go ahead.
Like I said, it's so worth it. The way a pizza from Domino's, yeah, it tastes great.
Mhm.
You know, or In and Out, whatever. Any like fast food stuff. I know it tastes really good, but it's 10 minutes of like this pleasure, and then it's like 2 days of feeling like shit. Like, is it really that worth it? That's what you gotta, and it depends on the person. For some people, they might think it's worth it for them. So okay, then it's your life. You got to do what makes sense for you. But for me, it's like, you know, I want to feel good, and It's not just feeling good. When you're feeling good, you're gonna do better at everything, and that could be work or just at the gym. Better with people and relationships. Everything is better if you're feeling good.
Definitely. It's like you're sacrificing like the small part, or it's not even really a sacrifice because you said there's all these healthy alternatives, right?
Yeah.
To make like the rest of your life so much better. And
Mhm.
it's like the smarter decision, right?
Yeah, and you'll appreciate it when you definitely when you get into your like 50s and 60s. That's when people start just falling apart. Even 40s now, people are falling apart in their early 40s. You
Hmm.
know, because of having a bad lifestyle, eating the wrong way, drinking too much, smoking too much, drugs, just whatever they're doing. They're falling apart a lot younger. You might still live to be 90 or 85, but do you want to feel like shit for 30 years? Is it worth it? To not feel good, not look your best. You know, Diseases come around from toxicity. Can cause disease. So can stress. So um, it's just for the long run. It's just making the right choices. It's going to be so much better for your life in general. And I'm not trying to live to be 200 years old. It's more about just quality life. While I'm alive, you want to feel your best, and you just have a better quality of life that way.
Hmm. Yeah, like I mean, with like sleep and nutrition, it's like those are like probably the two most important parts of health, correct?
They're big. They're definitely nutrition for sure is huge.
Hmm.
Sleep is huge. Stress management is another big one. Managing stress. Stress is a killer. It's a big one. It's worse than like fast food or it's too much stress can definitely cause disease, and
Hmm.
just it destroys mental health, causes depression, causes anxiety. Uh, just having too high cortisol levels, and you're overworking your adrenal glands. So that's another big one that, especially guys in business and CEOs, entrepreneurs, just you really got to watch your stress levels, and understand how to manage stress too. Because there's always going to be those situations. It's always gonna. It's not like you can just you know at the beach all day long. You know what I mean? Like meditating all day. We gotta like work. We gotta do that. There's gonna be stressful situations that come up, and it's just how you manage that situation, how you react to that situation, and that's where. But yeah, like I said, stress is or managing stress can be just as important as sleeping good quality sleep. So they have stresses, and I know in especially like with entrepreneurs, business guys, stress levels are high. I was in sales for 10 years. I know, like, stress is crazy. It could really make you not sleep. It kills your sleep. It just kills, it raises anxiety, it causes depression. It's a big one.
Yeah, like you never really hear about that, right? It's always like, oh yeah, just eat better, work out, right?
Yeah.
Like sleep better. No one ever talks about like, oh, like stress management, like especially with the whole entrepreneurship space. Like
Mhm.
everyone is stressed out all the time. Like most people I know like don't even meditate or do anything to manage stress. They're just always like, oh, like, oh no, I've got so many things to do today, and like
Just like fight through it kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
struggle through the next 8 hours, and maybe I'll get to relax with some TV at the end of the day, and like that's about it, right? Like, uh, I guess what are like the? I mean, you work with a lot of entrepreneurs as clients, right? And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
CEOs, etc., like high level people. Like,
Mhm.
what, like, what are like some things that I guess tell your clients, or just to help a little bit, like if like do you tell them to meditate, do you tell them to like work out, right? you know like what are some
Yeah.
good tips?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, like you're talking about being in that fight, or fighting through the day. That's not good because you're kind of in like that fight or flight all day long. We're definitely not supposed to be in a fight or flight. We're really only supposed to be in fight or flight when we have to react to something that's maybe about to, in order that's going to put us in danger, But now in our world, we've taken that like fight or flight where we would use it was beneficial for like to fight off danger or to run because maybe a bear was chasing you or you would have to fight somebody for food. I mean, who knows? But now we're taking that same feeling and same things that are happening in your body, but it's from work, and it's all day long, which is really causing problems. So big things for stress are, meditation is great. If you talk to most very successful, highly successful people, they're meditating at least, once a day, at least 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour long thing, but meditation's big. And, there's so many different ways to meditate. I tell people when they first kind of look at it, just to just focus on your breathing, sit down, close your eyes, and just focus on breathing in and out, as slow as you can, the slower, the better. But that's all you really got to do. There's different ways if you get more into it, you can get into different types of methods and all that. But just basic, just breathing and focusing on your breathing for 15 minutes is really good for stress and just for mental health in general. There's so many other things, but it benefits for your brain by doing that. So that's a big one. And it's free, 15 minutes. I tell people usually try to meditate in the morning. But if you can't, you got a busy morning going on, afternoon is good too. Maybe you got a lot going on, you're stressed out, got some issues. Take 10 minutes and just breathe for 10 minutes and then go back to that. And you'll work a lot better with that situation. You'll be able to handle it a lot better. So meditation is good. Breathing's big. Just doing like breath work, like what we did. Like last weekend, 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So breath work is really powerful for stress, and I tell people, I do maybe 5-10 minutes of some type of breathing exercise every day, either morning or night, because that's really good for just getting you into the sympathetic nervous system. It activates that, so it helps you. The parasympathetic is what helps us relax and stops the racing thoughts and lowers anxiety. So the breathing is powerful too, like deep breathing, like Wim Hof, any of these sumo breathing's another good one. There's so many different techniques, just like with meditation, but just basic, even just like a Wim Hof 3 rounds of breathing, is great for stress management. There's also like supplements. Well, sleep too. Sleep also is another one that if you get better quality sleep, you're gonna have less stress. But supplements, magnesium's a big one for stress. Magnesium's huge, and most people are magnesium deficient. We're not getting enough from our food anymore because the soil is depleted. So we're not getting it from like our vegetables like we used to, unless you're maybe buying your vegetables all from like a farmer's market, or you live on a farm and you have really good quality soil. So you can just supplement magnesium, pill form, powdered form. But magnesium's really good for stress. It just helps you cope with stress, helps you sleep better as well. Good for anxiety. So magnesium is a good supplement. Not overdoing the caffeine. Slow down on the coffee and the Red Bulls, the soda, because that's also it's elevating everything. It's kind of getting you more to that fight or flight, which you don't want to be in all day.
What do you think this, man? These are caffeine pills. Should I stop taking these?
What's that? This pure caffeine? How many milligrams is it?
200 milligrams per pill.
So it's like a cup of coffee. I mean, that's not too bad. Is that all you do for a day? Like one?
I used to take one a day. Now need a little more nowadays.
Yeah, it's like a drug. It is a drug. It's a drug. So
yeah,
your tolerance will get worse. So yeah, don't over. I mean, I tell people 100 to 200 milligrams at the most a day, and never past like 2 p.m. That's going to affect your sleep. You really don't want to drink coffee or any kind of caffeine after 2. And we want to keep it lower than 200 milligrams, or 200 or less, and try to take days off. Try not to do it every single day. It's like it's a drug. So Um, but yeah, too much caffeine is going to keep you in that fight or flight. That's why it gives you all that energy, you know. But it's not real energy. It's just kind of it's hitting the same receptors as cocaine. It's in the dopamine receptor,
Mm-hmm.
and it can also get downgrade receptors, and that's not good. You don't want to downgrade your dopamine receptors. So too much coffee, can cause depression, over time, because you're just constantly overworking your dopamine. You're not, you're overworking those receptors. So yeah, with caffeine, and like we're talking about stress too, and it's definitely going to help with stress if you don't have, if you keep the caffeine levels low. Yeah. But that
So
takes time. You might have to like kind of taper down a little bit.
what
And
do you
there's
think?
other things you could do for energy instead, like alternatives.
What do you think about L-theanine? Taking it with L-theanine.
Theanine is great. It's a great amino acid.
Yeah.
It helps. It's for GABA. Helps you. It's a precursor to GABA, so it helps you. And GABA kind of is like a calming neurotransmitter, uh, and it's good for stress too. L-theanine, and it's good. It's good to take with the coffee because then you don't get too much into that fight or flight. Kind of helps, and it makes the caffeine kind of like you get the energy, but it doesn't spike it as much. It kind of regulates it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do the L-theanine if I do like coffee, or if I do even like with any kind of, if I drink iced tea, even I'll try to have a little bit of L-theanine with it, just because it makes it's a better energy,
Mm-hmm.
So theanine's good, and theanine's good even if you don't drink caffeine. It's good for stress and for sleep. Like 200 milligrams a day is good. If you're really having issues with stress or anxiety, you can even take, I think the dosage is up to like 700 milligrams a day, but that's if you got a lot of anxiety or you're not, high stress, not sleeping good. But amino acids, there's all kinds of amino acids that are great for mental health, like theanine. Like another one is L-tyrosine. That's
L-tyrosine.
another one. Yeah, tyrosine is, so the theanine hits the GABA, is a GABA receptor, and then the tyrosine is for dopamine. It helps your brain just create more dopamine. And these are just amino acids, or amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So you need tyrosine to create dopamine and endorphin. And you could get tyrosine from food too. But with anything, a lot of times we're not getting the right amounts that we need. So instead of that caffeine, you can lessen the caffeine, or maybe even try not to do any caffeine for a day, let's say, and do the tyrosine instead. And that could help you still get that energy, but it's, instead of caffeine, you're getting real energy. It's helping you have, create more dopamine. And there's all kinds of alternatives you could do for caffeine, but like I said, with amino acids, you got tyrosine, you got tryptophan, that's for serotonin. So L-tryptophan is another amino acid you could take. Tryptophan is like what's in turkey. That's why people say after they eat turkey, you feel so like relaxed and like happy and calm. You want to sleep or whatever. So tryptophan is kind of like it helps it promotes serotonin in your body. So making more serotonin, and serotonin makes you feel happy. Calms you down. It's good for stress. Great for anxiety. You really want to make sure your serotonin levels are good. If you're having anxiety, even like social anxiety, something like that.
All right. So, I mean, we can talk about more about, just some like, I guess, more tips about like stress management. Whether it's breathing. I mean, we talked about meditation, and you talked about like Wim Hof breathing. Yeah. Like, what are some other, I guess, other things that entrepreneurs can do to like help with stress management?
So yeah, another huge one is exercise. Exercise is huge. Got to be doing some, like, moving your body in some way every day. It doesn't have to be like 2 hours in the gym. You can go for a bike ride for 30 minutes. You can do yoga. Lifting weights is great. So, and even lifting weights, you don't have to spend a ton of time, 45 minutes to an hour, high intensity type of workout. But yeah, working out and just moving your body, we don't do that enough in our society. That's a big problem. So you got to be exercising, and like for me, exercise is, I do it first for brain health and this the way I feel, and just for my mental state, and then it's more for like being strong and fit and all that. That's like secondary. The like I have to make sure I get some kind of form of exercise. It just kind of it wakes me up. And you just feel better for your days. It's better, you know. And morning's always good. It's better to do it in the morning first thing. I know a lot of guys like to work out at night, but you're kind of missing out on some of the benefits of of what it could do for you for your mental health throughout the day. Because anytime you're doing any kind of exercise, you're creating endorphins, and endorphins is what gives you motivation. It's linked to dopamine. Dopamine and endorphin are the same hemisphere, you know. So you need that to just for work, it's energy, and so yeah, make sure you get that some kind of exercise before your day starts. Like even if it's 20 minutes, it's something. Do some kind of exercise or lifting weights before you start. You know, before you go to work or whatever. That's gonna help with the stress management throughout the day for sure.
Yeah, like does it matter like what exercise people do, like whether it's like calisthenics or like lifting heavy weights or like because I do like both, right? Like I
Yeah.
I start my day doing like a calisthenics workout just like immediately actually. Like as soon as I get up, I'm just like boom boom boom. I do like a 20-25 minute calisthenic workout of like just push-ups, squats, bands, sit-ups, just normal shit. And then
Yeah.
right after that, I go downstairs to my gym, and then I do like a real like weight workout. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not recommending people to do that because, or maybe, but like, what do you like recommend?
Yeah, it just depends on the person. If you don't have a lot of time, or maybe like I said, you get even if it's 20 minutes of some kind of high intensity exercise. You know, you can just you can do squats or burpees in your kitchen if you really need to, or in your garage. Do 20 minutes of burpees. Just you don't. It doesn't have to be like this crazy thing. But of course, if you want to put some muscle on and have a physique, you can start lifting weights more. Weights are great, especially for building muscle. Helps with testosterone, especially when you lift when you do leg workouts, squats, deadlifts. It naturally increases testosterone. So, but yeah, just moving your body, and with the cardio, it's good. Like if I ever do cardio, it's more kind of a warm up. Maybe 10 minutes of jumping rope or something like that. But I like to do. I go mountain bike riding a lot. That's a great cardio workout. So you can have fun when you exercise. I do jujitsu. It's another fun exercise. Kickboxing's fun. Muay Thai kickboxing, boxing, like whatever you're into. Find something that's fun. Golfing is good if you're not using the cart. You're actually walking to the holes and walking through the whole course. Walking is even a good good cardio exercise. So something every day. But yeah, like if you want to build muscle for sure, you got to lift weights. And this is really, but anything is going to help with stress and mental health for sure. Any type of exercise. That's what you got to do it something every day. Joe Rogan, I like how he explains it. Like he'll say, like when he works out, it kind of like lets all the demons out. That's like stress. It's negative energy. You're releasing that. You're getting rid of all that just angst and like negative thoughts. And when you're done, you just feel like reset. Just feel better.
Yeah, like you just release all that energy and like, yeah, it's like you release like maybe all that stress that you might have had and
Yep.
yeah, like I really do like that. It's like especially if you're like going through maybe like a stressful situation in life or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like I found that in my life when something like really bad happens, uh, you know, like going to the gym is like my like therapy almost. It's like
Yeah.
it's the best, and you feel if not like fine, you feel a lot better, right? So that is
Yeah.
a
It's
big
I
one.
think it's like the number one antidepressant there is this exercise.
Hmm.
And you like you said, you're releasing energy, but you're not you still it gives you actually more energy for your day though, because
Hmm.
all the endorphins are releasing, so you actually have more energy. People think maybe like they don't want to work out because it's going to make them tired or something. So actually when you exercise, you actually have more energy.
Hmm.
Wakes you up for sure.
Yep, correct. Yeah, like have you ever read the book Spark by what's his name? Oh, it's a book that talks about like exercise and how exercising like yeah like gives you energy and helps you
Yeah.
and not just like the energy but it helps your brain think more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Definitely.
And I mean, all the things that we've talked about, like sleep, nutrition, stress management, etc. Like all these things, it's like, oh, like why do I want to like do all this, right? Like, oh yeah, like sure, it gives me energy, whatever. But like all these things like help you make money, right? I mean, let's be real, like whether like one of the main reasons why you're into business or entrepreneurship is to make money, right?
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, like
Yeah. Of
like
course.
right. So it's not like, oh, I'm doing all these things just so I'm a better human being or something. It's like like you can make it like a selfish reason. Like, yeah, like I do like a lot of these things, like, and I started doing these like years and years ago, like especially
Yeah.
when I first started out, with entrepreneurship. And I wasn't meditating for like for fun or to like or whatever. Like I was doing it because I knew the benefits of meditation. Like it gives you, like more focus. It
Mhm.
helps you with your stress. Yeah, like a lot of people nowadays, can't meditate or they don't meditate, and because of our phones and whatever, like we can't focus on something for more than like 5 minutes because
Yeah.
and it's only gotten worse with like TikTok and all these
Yeah.
like quick like 2 second things or oh if it doesn't capture my attention in 1 second I'm out, right?
Hmm.
So it's only getting worse, right? And as an entrepreneur or like anyone in business, like you yourself, you have to be able to focus on something for like hours at a time, right? Like you have to
Yeah.
work hours at a time. You have to do it every day, right? And that's one of the biggest things I see with young entrepreneurs, right? So yeah,
It's huge, man. It's
yeah,
huge.
hmm
Just it's like, yeah, the healthier your brain is, the more you're gonna produce in life and succeed, and be able to. You're gonna work better. You're gonna work smarter. You're gonna feel happier. What's the point of making all this money if you're not happy? It's like
hmm
you want it to fulfill you. So yeah, it's super important. And like with meditation, a lot of people, like, it's like you're talking about with social media and all that. That's why it's so important to meditate nowadays, and or do breath work, because we're just constantly like, we have all this coming at us constantly, and it's like it's downgrading our receptors. It's causing anxiety, depression. So yeah, that's why meditation is even more important. And when you do that breathing, because I know it's hard for people, especially in the beginning, like they can't stop their thoughts, or their thoughts are just going crazy. That's why the breathing is important. Just slow your breathing down. Maybe 7 seconds in and seconds out. Um, just so you can get into that parasympathetic, and really calm your thoughts down and your mind down. You know.
hmm Yeah, like I like to give my audience kind of like an action plan almost as
Yeah.
well. Like like maybe like an action step they can do, like maybe breathing or whatever. Like you said like breathe in for 7 seconds, breathe out for seven
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah, like do you recommend people to start off with that, or like maybe do like box breathing or Wim Hof, or it's just
Yeah.
like
Just depends what they're doing. Like for
mhm,
meditation, um, for sure, just like a deep breathing would be good, like a box breathing. You could either do 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds, depending on what's comfortable for you and your lung capacity and all that.
mhm,
But that's a good 10 minutes a day of just for just the slow your breathing down, close your eyes, and just let yourself focus on the breathing. And thoughts are still going to come in, and when they come in, you kind of acknowledge the thought, and then just kind of let it go, and go back to focusing on your breathing. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. You could also do that for, like we were talking about, sleep. The box breathing is good for sleep. As you're going to sleep, and about like these thoughts coming in, you're stressed out. It's hard for people that are hard. It's hard for them to fall asleep, or they have insomnia. Try the breathing. Do the same thing. Just focus on your breathing in. 5-10 seconds, out, super slow, and over a few minutes, 10 minutes. Your body's gonna calm down, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to fall asleep. So that's a
awesome.
good first thing they could do is with the meditation. This basic breathing meditation is really powerful. You know, or doing some kind of like the Wim Hof breathing is good. 3 rounds. That's kind of like meditation when you think about it. But you're kind of active while you're meditating. You're doing this breathing. You're holding, and then you're releasing it, and then your mind's working a little bit more than just basic, just breathing. And I would say another thing that they could start with too would be just eating like, the breakfast later, having dinner earlier. It's a great, just for mental health and weight loss. It's great. Yeah, it's a good start.
Okay. So meditation, breathing, slow breathing,
Yeah.
eat a little later, eat in like few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know we talked about a lot. So it's like,
Then we also said about
yeah,
the what's it called? Like, with nutrition, smoothies are
mhm,
great, especially as a
smoothies.
first meal.
Yeah.
Uh, Try to, slowly start cutting out the refined sugar. Read labels. Look for added sugar on the label, not just carbohydrates, but added sugars. That's going to be typically refined sugar. And if you look at the ingredients too, like the list, usually it'll say like cane sugar, or it'll say sugar, or it'll say, yeah, sometimes they have other names, like even coconut sugar is not really good. Um, so read the labels better, especially on package, with the packaged foods. A lot of times they're just adding tons of sugar, and you can look for alternatives like monk fruit or stevia. There's all these keto uh, alternatives now, meal replacement, or cookies and ice cream and cake. So sugar's a biggie, not just for weight loss and the way you look, but mental health as well. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's like also in like packages, there's also always a lot of like preservatives and I've always like joked it's like, yeah, if it ever says like on the packaging like ingredients like sodium, blah blah blah, like bicarbonate, trichloroxide or something, I'm like, it's probably not good for you. It's like,
Yeah, definitely.
so it's like, using your common sense as well, right? Of
Yeah. Oh
what
yeah.
to buy.
Yeah, look for stuff with just simple ingredients. That's why Sprouts is good. Whole Foods is good. Uh, any kind of, just farmer's market, of course, you're going to get more like just real food. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, with stress and sleep, like my favorite thing that I don't know, I forgot to mention was cold showers and ice
Hmm.
baths. That's
Yeah.
like the ultimate stress hack and sleep hack, is getting in cold water. The Yeah, for stress it's great. You get so much endorphins, especially really cold water, like when it's in like the 40s and 30s.
Hmm.
You feel like it's a complete reset of your system. You feel amazing after. Doesn't matter how stressed you are out before that, you're gonna feel better for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to get that sometimes, like getting that really cold water, like
Yeah.
how, especially if you live in like a hot place in the summer, right? Like, I mean, we live in Vegas, it's, and you
Yeah.
turn it the coldest, and it's like it's cold, but it's not really that cold.
Yeah, shower's like 75, 80 right now at
Yeah,
the
exactly,
coldest, at the
exactly.
coldest.
Yeah, so
So in the winter, it's easy. You can get really cold showers in the winter time,
yeah,
anywhere. But
yeah.
if you live in a hot place, especially like Vegas and LA, I mean most places are in the summer in America. It's going to get hot, but you could do ice baths. Where the easiest way is, um, but it's a little bit. Well, I mean, there's two ways to do it. You can just fill your tub with halfway with water, your bathtub, and just dump a bunch of ice in there. You buy it from the store, or you can make ice.
Hmm.
What I used to do before I got a cold plunge, so I bought a huge 50-gallon. It was like 55-gallon trash can from Home Depot, and then I I would keep it inside in the house because it was too hot outside. The water would get too warm, so I'd keep it inside in my bathroom. I actually kept it in the shower. So yeah, and I'd keep it in the back. It was in the back, so I still could take a shower, and then I had the cold plunge. So that's like an easy little $30 trick. You get the trash can, you fill it up halfway with water, and then you just throw a bunch of ice in there, and you got an ice bath right there. And what's cool about that, you don't have to empty it every time. You can let it, put some hydrogen peroxide in there, and it'll go a few days without having to replace the water. And then you can make ice with, I used to get like those big Tupperwares, just fill them up with water and throw it in the freezer, and you have like huge blocks of ice that you put in there. And then that'll get it down to like maybe 45, 50,
Okay.
which is, yeah, a lot colder than the shower is right now. And all you need is 3 minutes in there. 3 to 5 minutes is perfect. In the winter, yeah, you can definitely do the cold showers. You start with a hot shower, and then the last 2 minutes, do it as cold as you can, all the way cold.
Hmm.
And that's really great for stress. And if you do it at night, the colder you get your body. That's the one thing I didn't mention too with sleep is getting your thermostat low, 70 degrees, 69, whatever, and also taking a cold shower before you go to bed. You're gonna definitely sleep. You're gonna sleep better. The colder you are, you're gonna get deeper sleep.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't realize that. It's like, oh, if I take a cold shower before bed, wouldn't that wake me up? Right? And it's like,
Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird.
yeah,
Yeah, if cold showers in the morning kind of they definitely give you energy, but at
mm-hmm,
night you just it calms you down, and especially once you get into bed, when your body core temperature is lower, you
mm-hmm,
definitely just fall for the most part you fall asleep faster and you'll sleep deeper.
mm-hmm, definitely.
So
Yeah,
there's two ways you can do it, But yeah, it's great for sleep, and it's definitely great for stress management, and getting in that cold. Sauna is the same thing. You're just stressing your. It's a physical stress on your body. That's what the cold is. The cold and it's like saunas, the heat. It's a stressor. So what it does, anytime you have a stressor, a physical stress on your body releases endorphins, natural painkillers, so you feel better. And those endorphins, that's what makes you feel good. That's why people like the way they feel after they do a sauna or an ice bath or whatever. And saunas, most gyms have them. 15, 20 minutes is all you need. That's another way to great for stress down.
yeah, like besides, like we can get to like a little more like quick like sleep tips because I've researched sleep a lot as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do my best to like make sure like there's no light, like especially like blue light, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think like well, I know for sure that you shouldn't be using blue light before you go to bed. Like, oh, stare at your phone for like an
Uh-huh.
hour in the dark, right? And like you're like this, and
Yeah.
and like for like an hour, and then okay, it's time for me to go to bed, and then you try like 2 minutes later to go to bed, and you're like, oh, I can't fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
You know,
That's another big one that's keeping people awake is the light. TV, same thing, TV or just light in your house. It's
mhm.
your brain thinks it's the sun, so your brain thinks it's daytime. So yeah, with the lights, you can do the on your phone. You can do like the filters, the what's it called, night mode or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I even have on my phone, iPhones, you could do it where you can set it to like you make your phone red, all red, like the display. It'll
Mhm.
be like a red light, which is you're taking out the blue light, which is all red, and you can still see your phone and stuff. It's if you're reading or whatever, it's better.
Yeah.
Um, you can wear the blue light glasses; those are great.
Mhm.
The blue blocker glasses, they have the orange lens on them, and that cuts out the blue light, so that's good for nighttime. Or if you're on the computer all day, it's going to be one of those. So I would definitely wear those when at night, and if I'm on the computer for long hours, I'll wear the glasses. So you could also just keeping your lights low at night. It's big. Uh, Try not to watch TV. It's better to read a book. Little things like that, will it's people wonder why they can't sleep, but then they're doing all the they're watching TV and it's like bright. They're on their phones or they're working. They're stressed out. Like these little changes over time are gonna definitely help. It's gonna help you with all aspects of your life.
Yeah. What do you think of like the? Because I've heard this before where you buy like this, it's like a special blanket or something, and it's
Yeah.
like if yeah, I forgot what it's called, like
Oh,
chili,
it's like
like
heavy.
yeah, it's like heavy, or it's like they set it to a certain temperature.
Oh yeah, those are cool too. The chiller.
Yeah, chili pad or something,
The
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pad you lay on and it
Mhm.
gets your body temperature really low.
Mhm.
It's just good for anything cold is gonna be. So you can just also just turn your air conditioner a little higher, especially in the
Mhm.
summertime.
Right.
Put your thermostat down to like 70 or a little lower. But yeah, anything like the chili pad's good. Maybe if you have a spouse and they don't like your spouse doesn't like it's too cold, then you got to get a like a blanket it's just for you,
Yeah.
or a pad or whatever,
Mhm.
or just do a really cold shower or do an ice bath, and boom,
Yeah.
your core temperature is going to be a lot lower.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing is too is alcohol. If
Oh
you're
yeah.
drinking a lot of people
Alcohol.
drink to sleep to help them fall asleep, but you're not getting good quality sleep when you're drinking. It's like it's like a really shitty sleep. So try to don't turn to alcohol for sleep for sure. Try to minimize alcohol. Um, I mean, of course, I know there's gonna be days you go out and you have a couple of drinks, but or 10 drinks, whatever, whatever somebody is doing. But just know that alcohol definitely affects quality sleep. So yeah, Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one too. And there's a lot of supplements out there. Like I would mention magnesium.
Magnesium, yeah.
Magnesium's really good. CBD oil. A lot of people like that. That's good for sleep. There's like teas out there, like the there's sleep teas and stress teas where they're using like lavender and different types of herbs that are good for sleep. We talked about like theanine is good. Amino acid theanine. What else do I take for sleep? I mean, those are the big ones. Magnesium is a good one for sure. Magnesium, theanine, uh, CBD oil. Those are the biggies. Those
Okay.
typically work for most people.
Do you take all of them, or do you just take one?
Just for me myself, I'll just do like magnesium day and I sleep good. I'll do a nice bath or a cold shower before I go to sleep, and I'm good. But for clients, I'll tell them, it just depends what they need. They need to try these things out and see what works for them.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, it's going to be a combination of things. It's going to be breathing and maybe a cold shower and taking some magnesium, maybe taking a little bit of CBD, and just like I said, it's going to depend on the person. But the thing is just to try this stuff out, see what's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm. So you
But
don't recommend
magnesium's an easy one. That's a good one to start with. Magnesium, you can buy it on Amazon for $10.
like ZMA, like is that a good one?
ZMA is the
It's like zinc, magnesium, and like vitamin B3, I think. Yeah.
vitamin B3. Yeah, all three of those are good for sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Magnesium especially.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything with magnesium. B3 is another one you see that in a lot of like sleep pills. But magnesium's a biggie. Another good or a good magnesium brand is called Calm.
Calm.
It's a powder. You just add it to water, and it kind of fizzes up and all that. And that's a good, highly absorbable magnesium. It's good for sleep, and just good for stress too and anxiety and all that. But yeah, alcohol is a big one. If you can, a lot of guys I know after work you want to drink just to calm down, but it's definitely not the best way to go, especially the next day too. It's going to hurt your motivation and all that. So especially as you get older, like in your 30s, 40s, alcohol really starts affecting most people. So that's why these other things are good replacement, like magnesium, CBD oil, do a cold plunge, do a sauna, just find other ways that help you relax, meditate, do some breath work. There's so many alternatives that we know about besides just turning to have an alcohol to drinking, and just know that, like I said, alcohol is not only hurting your sleep, but it's going to affect you the next day too, for other reasons like mental health. It depletes dopamine, depletes GABA, causes low motivation. You feel gross the next day. You get detoxing. Your liver. You get the hangover. It's not going to help your work for sure.
Yeah, like if you do drink, is it like, I don't know if you drink. Like, do you ever drink or?
I mean, rarely I'll have like maybe one drink. It doesn't make me feel the way. I guess when I used to drink a lot in my 20s, like I was talking about, and I don't really get that good feeling anymore. It kind of kills my high now. It kills my like natural high when I have especially if I have two or three. So if I drink maybe like one, two at the very most, but it's rare though.
Like, are there better alcohols? Like, because sometimes I have like wine, right? Like red
Yeah.
wine.
Okay.
Like with like steak or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, is that like? Because I've heard like if you do like once a week or something, like it's fine.
Yeah, one glass of red wine's not the worst, but there's better.
Yeah.
There's better alcohol for sure. Like the cleanest, you could say is vodka, tequila. Those are the cleanest. Yeah, those are the cleanest alcohol. I think tequila is probably the most clean, like the 100% agave tequila, like a good good tequila, like Casamigos on wheel, whatever. Something like more higher end. Vodka, like Tito's, is good because it's distilled so many times. It's really just it's pretty much pure alcohol. So it's the cleanest you can go. Beer is probably the worst. Wine's not the best either. But I mean, like I said, one glass is not the worst thing in the world. If you're having a whole bottle every night, that's a problem.
Right.
Not only just for the alcohol, but because of the sugar. It's just not as clean as liquor.
Mhm.
So if I drink, yeah, I'll do like tequila, soda, lime. Like soda water is just soda water. It's water with bubbles, not like tonic or something like that with a bunch of sugar.
Mhm.
Or like vodka, soda, lime. Those are good. Those are good drinks if you want to keep the calories low, and the cleanest way you can go
Okay.
is yeah, vodka, tequila, even gin. If you're gonna do bourbon, drink bourbon straight. Don't do like old fashions. They just add a bunch of sugar and it's different syrups and all that. So it's better just to drink straight bourbon or whiskey, you know. But yeah, tequila and vodka that's the best way to go if you are gonna drink.
Mhm. Okay. I do like tequila, so
Yeah, tequila is great.
uh,
You could just, if you the best way to drink tequila is just tequila on the rocks with a lime.
mhm.
But if you want to kind of make it not so strong, add some soda water, but not like Coke or something or Sprite, like just plain soda water.
Mhm.
And the lime's good because limes are good for the liver and cleansing the liver and all that.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about water real quick. Like
Yeah.
earlier, like, like what type of water do you normally drink? I assume you don't drink tap water. You know,
No, no. I mean,
I know a lot of people do.
if I had
Yeah,
to, like if I was
yeah,
in the middle of the desert and that's all I had, yeah,
yeah.
maybe. But
Maybe it's
I
like
do
probably not.
yeah, filtered water. Like I do fluoride free water.
Hmm.
Fluoride's a big one. You want to make sure it's filtered, no chlorine. Like the reverse osmosis water is good. You can have it delivered, or sometimes I'll just take my the 5 gallon jugs and just go fill them up at the every grocery store has a reverse osmosis now.
Hmm.
On the go, like Fiji's pretty good. The only
Hmm.
problem is it's a plastic bottle. The
Yeah.
glass bottle are good, like the for on the go, like Mountains. It's a green bottle. Mountain. I can't think of the name right now, but it's in a glass. There's very few water bottles and glass bottles. That's one of them. It's like a green bottle. It's called Mountain something. That's a good one. Fiji's pretty good though. Um, but yeah, it's for on the go is different than at home. At home, try to get good filtered water, sparklets delivery. Make sure it's fluoride free. That's important. Um, but you can also just fill it up at the grocery store. Fill up your 5 gallon jug with those reverse osmosis, or like the water source. You can do the same thing. Most of them are reverse osmosis. But yeah, you want to drink good quality water, and you want to drink, you know, enough to. You don't want to overdo it, but for most people, like 6 to 8 glass or cups a day, depending, how much you're sweating, how much you're working out, all that. Don't overdo water though, because some people are like crazy about water. They're drinking like a gallon, 2 gallons a day,
Yeah.
and too much water can actually it flushes all your minerals out. So you don't want to overdo it either.
Really?
But you want to, but drink. Yeah, water is very important. So drink it enough. Just don't overdo it. Which most people don't have that problem. Most people are not drinking enough.
Yeah.
They're drinking too much coffee and everything else, sodas, and it's dehydrating them. You know?
That's interesting. I've never heard of like, because I heard like drinking like a gallon of water a day is good.
Usually the guys that do that are guys that are big into fitness.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're sweating a lot.
Hmm.
So for them, it's not the worst thing in the world. But the average person, you don't need a gallon. It's a lot of water, and you're probably overdoing it. You're probably flushing out minerals for sure. Unless you're like sweating like crazy, you're running on the treadmill for an hour. And yeah, like I see you got a plastic bottle there. Yeah, plastic's not the best. So you want to like if you can get glass bottles, or you get like the if you want to like fill the 5 gallon bottles, you can buy the ones that are BPA free.
Okay.
That's like a chemical that's in plastic. So if you get those, it's a better, and it's not sitting in. When you fill up your water, you're gonna usually drink it within a couple days, 2 3 days.
Yeah.
Whereas like the bottled water you're buying at the store, that water could have been in there for a year just sitting in that plastic.
And what's bad about the plastic?
Well, plastics just, I mean, there's the chemicals, there's lots of chemicals. There's microplastics that get in the water, like tiny microscopic pieces of plastic that you're ingesting.
Hmm.
It's just, yeah, pretty much just chemicals that you don't want in your body.
Okay.
So I always try to avoid plastic. We're getting enough plastic from everything else. It's like in our clothes. It's in, when you're taking a shower, it's in the tap water. Avoid as much as possible. Like either glass glass
Glass
bottles of water,
bottles. Glass
or just
bottles.
or get like delivery. You can even get delivered that that company I was talking about, the Mountains company, where they deliver the big 5 gallon bottle.
What's it called? Mountain?
I think it's called Mountain something, Mountain Spring, I think.
Mountain
And it's
Spring.
a yeah, it's but it's one of the only bottles that come in glass.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Or
also,
just
I can
fill
start
up.
doing that.
You could just fill up your like I say, you fill up your bottles at the water stores,
Mm-hmm.
and then because it's only going to be in the jug for a couple of days before you drink it. It's a
Yeah.
lot better than like a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And then just fill up a glass bottle of or a cup. You're drinking out of a glass cup, instead of just drinking out of plastic bottles all day long. You can even get those big glass jars and drink out of that. That's what I do.
It's true. Yeah. This is good.
Yeah,
Like,
water is important. Clean water.
I've actually heard like with like with showers especially, like you know like the water that you use for showers, like
Yeah.
your body's like your skin's absorbing it, right? And
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
like it's all good for you. Like but I was like, how do I can't like not shower, right? So I'm like, it's
Yeah.
like so you're forced to use that water. Like, do you still use like shower like tap water
Yeah.
or
Well, I have a filter on mine because
mm,
yeah, like you just said, or you're absorbing. Your skin is absorbing everything. So
yeah,
even like lotions, make sure you're putting good lotion on because your skin's absorbing it.
yeah,
Just like if you were eating it. So
yeah.
yeah, make sure with yeah, the fluoride is the main thing, in the chlorine
Mm-hmm.
in the tap water. So you can get filters that they cut or they filter out the chlorine, they filter out the fluoride. Like anywhere Amazon, you can find all kinds of different types. Some are like up, really high price. Some are $20. It just depends what you're looking for and what. But they're getting rid of all they're filtering out chemicals and stuff you don't want on your body for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you'll notice too with the filters, you won't dry your skin out as much. Chlorine really dry your skin, and there's a lot of chlorine in tap water,
Mm-hmm.
so it's good to filter that out.
Like, is it
Yeah,
easy, or do you have to like replace your entire like water system almost?
yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
you,
saying. Like
you know,
there's really high price ones where you can just run it through your whole house, or
yeah,
you can just buy just a basic shower filter that you just screw on, and then you
mm,
attach your shower head to it, and the water runs through it, and it's like charcoal. Well, most of them are using activated charcoal, which is it's absorbing the toxins, and
mm-hmm.
it's getting rid of the chlorine and fluoride and all that. Those are the biggies: is fluoride or fluoride and chlorine.
Okay,
But yeah, I mean, they're showing in tap water that there's like drugs and or medications, pills, because people are throwing medications in the down the toilet or whatever
yeah,
when they dispose of them, or it's just there's all kinds of stuff that you don't want to be going in your body.
yeah, the dark
So
side.
you could spend 20-30 bucks and get a shower filter. It's well worth it.
Right. Action plan, for everybody, including myself, will be to do that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to screw it on.
yeah. And do
Yeah,
you recommend doing that with like your kitchen sink taps and all that as well?
yeah. I don't have it on my sink, but
Hmm.
I know people do that too.
Yeah.
It's with the sink. It's like I mean, yeah. I just never really. Yeah, I guess I'm not like washing my whole body, of course, with the sink.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good for like vegetables and stuff
Yeah.
to have a filter on your sink and all that too. Which I'm sure you can get those on any probably online or Amazon as well.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah, the shower is the most important though, for sure.
yeah. Like that, yeah, like the shower one, like I've always been like, oh, like, how do I get like clean water with that? So that's a good one for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The filters, yeah, it's an easy quick thing you can do to really improve the quality of your water.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna make it perfect. Like I wouldn't drink it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't drink the shower water, but
Yeah, of course.
it's definitely it's definitely way better. For a shower, it's great. It's good, and you'll
Hmm.
notice too, your skin will look better, won't dry out as much, and all that. Improve your life and the way you feel every day, and it just with health, everything gets better. That's what I notice for myself, and I see it with people every day. Is like as you become healthier, and it improves your quality of life and your mental health, the way you look, the way you feel, the way you interact with people, and it's just life gets better, and
Hmm.
and you make more money too because it makes you more productive, and you have more energy, your brain's working better, you have more ideas. So it's really important. It's not, and I think people got away get away from the whole thing of just getting healthy is just losing weight or like lifting weights and getting buff. That's just like a little piece of it. There's so much more that goes into it,
Right.
and yeah, it's just it's really important, and in America especially, where it's bad right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are suffering that they don't need to be suffering. They're needlessly suffering because they just don't know what to do, or they've just been doing this since they were little kids. Yeah, we've been eating this way, and these habits we've created since we were young. So it's all about just breaking these bad habits and creating good new ones that will last you the rest of your life.
Mhm. Yeah, like, would you say that all the things that we've talked about are, I mean, they're pretty much like biohacks, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is just you're just hacking your biology for the better.
Yeah, because like, all the young entrepreneurs are like, "Oh yeah, just give me like the biohacks, like it sounds sexy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It
just
sounds cool.
give me
It's
like
like
the
trendy right now.
yeah, like give me like the quick tips, give me like the like
Yeah,
how do I
yeah,
just get energy without doing coke, right? It's like,
yeah.
like like besides like those like three things, are there any like, I guess like big, well not big, but like noticeable things that you like that are like, I guess I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's like a quick fix sort of thing, but it's like,
Yeah,
things that like were like noticeable that like, were like someone could maybe just take like an extra supplement, right? Like maybe they,
yeah.
yeah, that really helped a lot, you know,
For you mean for supplements?
like for supplement or like anything like in general, right? You know.
Yeah, like for supplements, depending on what they're trying to do, but
Hmm.
like a quick for energy, like the L-tyrosine's a good one.
Hmm.
Uh, for just getting more dopamine, cold plunges, ice baths, that's quick and easy.
Hmm.
You know, uh, I'm trying to think supplements that are like
Yeah.
there's so many. Magnesium's huge because it does so many different things. Like people usually they notice magnesium. It's a big one
Yeah.
because most people are deficient in that, and it helps so many different aspects of our biology. So magnesium's a good one, like stress, sleep, anxiety. For weight loss, smoothies. Do some smoothies every day because you're going to make better choices the rest of the day. That's a good one. And intermittent fasting, that's big too for weight loss and just losing weight. And yeah, it just depends what they're trying to improve. Everybody's got different issues with their health. I hear all every day it's something. Everybody's so different with what they want to work on with their health. So it really just depends what they want to do. But yeah, those are good for most people. A good green powder is always good with superfoods. Throw it in a protein shaker. It's really easy. But yeah, little things like this, smoothies are, like I said, are great. There's easy. For guys guys like smoothies because they're easy. It's an easy something you can make in 5 minutes, and you just load it up with tons of nutrition.
Yeah, like a lot of the guys are like, young uh and I mean me especially, like
Yeah,
I took notice of like my testosterone levels uh like like years ago, that
yeah,
I had them like tested, and I was already in like a decent range.
yeah,
But I always like, was looking ways to increase that right further, right? As like, a high level entrepreneur, you just always want to like look for like always better, right? Always, I could always have higher energy levels. I could always think clearer.
hmm
Uh, like a funny one that I think I mentioned to you, like when we talked, was like, oh yeah, like sunning your balls or something, right? And like that sounds
yeah,
weird. That sounds weird or whatever, right?
yeah,
But I heard like that increases like your testosterone by like exponential amounts.
uh,
Like
yeah, and
like
vitamin D too.
yeah, but yeah, vitamin D especially, yeah. And
Yeah,
obviously the sun, like we evolved like being out in the sun all the time, and nowadays we're always indoors and not
yeah,
getting much sunlight. Like getting at least like, I don't know like what your opinion is, but getting at least like 15-20 minutes of sunlight a day is of course
yeah,
good.
for
Good.
sure. At least
Right.
yeah, 15-20 minutes. But wait, the best time to get sun is sunrise or sunset
Hmm.
when the UV's a little lower. But
Okay.
yeah, we definitely need sun every day, like on your skin.
Hmm.
Vitamin D, it's good for mental health.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of the sun, but it's I mean, if you're maybe hours and hours out there, that's when it's causing problems. And the more toxic you are to it, they're showing now that like the worse you eat, the more the sun could affect you negatively, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to be clean too, of course. But yeah, even just 20 minutes a day, sunrise or sunset, it's good for that, you know.
Yeah. Like, what are like some like things that like guys, like young guys or older guys can do to like
Uh,
help their testosterone levels? Or what would you say?
oh, so for yeah, testosterone's a
Yeah.
biggie.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
First thing you want to do is check it. You know, if you have insurance, you can get a blood test every, I think, 6 months for pretty much for free to check your testosterone levels. But definitely do that. You can also just go online and you can order like Quest is a big one. Quest Diagnostics. You can
Yep.
go online and order a testosterone and estrogen test for like $50. So it doesn't cost that much. But
Hmm.
definitely, guys should be checking your estrogen levels and testosterone levels. Um, I mean, and all other there's you should be even doing full panel blood tests of everything anyway. But testosterone is a big one. But yeah, so first you got to see if you're where you're at. If you're low, which a lot of guys are,
Hmm.
because of diet, lack of exercise, and just the typical American lifestyle, it's hurting guys, you know. So lifting weights is good. Squats, especially deadlifts, like working on your legs. They're showing that definitely increases testosterone naturally. Uh, a good supplement you could do is there's one that's I think is the most powerful that works the best. It's called Tongkat Ali.
Tongkat.
Yeah, so
How do you spell
it's
that?
comes from it's from Thailand, so that's why it's a Thailand herb. So that's why it's but it's like Tongkat and then Ali. Tongkat Ali. There's another. If you type in Long Jack too, like if you want to buy it online or Amazon or something, you can
Long
type in
Jack.
Long Jack, and that's another name for it that they're using nowadays.
Okay.
But it's just it's a really bitter herb,
Mm.
and usually it comes in the capsule form because it doesn't taste good. So
Yeah.
you can buy it in the capsule. It's powdered though, but it's in a capsule, so
Mm.
it's easy to take and all that. But Tonkat Ali is a good one. That one definitely can naturally raise testosterone levels. So I would say that, and just that's like things you can do. But if you're eating like crap and doing all the other bad things, uh, you just like I said, there's no magic pill. You gotta work on the other stuff too. That's the most important. Creating a healthy lifestyle. Then when you start taking these things like these supplements stuff, they're actually going to work better. That's how that's how you actually get them to work is by getting cutting out the crap that's hurting you in the first place.
Hmm.
There's something that's lowering your testosterone in the first place. So first you want to make sure you're not doing those things. So these supplements and herbs and working out actually work and do what they're supposed to do.
Hmm.
But yeah, Tonkat Ali is a good one, and that might give you the motivation when you start. If a guy's really low in testosterone, you can't even get in the gym, and he starts taking Tonkat Ali, that might give him the motivation to at least start getting in the gym and start eating better and all that. It definitely can like raise libido, which is good. Especially guys as they get in their like 30s, 40s, libido goes down. So yeah, that's a big one for that. So Tonkat Ali, exercise, and I would say like pumpkin seeds that's shown
Pumpkin
to raise. I mean,
seeds.
there's so many things, but like those are just the ones that I know are like work the best. Like raw pumpkin seeds are good for natural testosterone. Zinc is a good mineral. Miss minerals in general too. Like just taking a good mineral supplement in general. There's an herb called, or not an herb. It's actually like a resin that grows in the Himalayan mountains in the rocks. It's called shilajit.
Shilajit.
Yes, Shilajit. Shilajit is also really good for raising testosterone and libido, energy. It's great for men. They call it the destroyer of weakness. That's like the nickname for it, and it's been around for humans. Been taking it for thousands of years. And yeah, like I said, it's just like a resin. It's like this black tar looking like substance that it has so many minerals because it's growing in these rocks. So it's getting all the minerals from the rocks, kind of like salt does, same thing. So that's a powerful one. Shilajit's really good. If you go to my Instagram, I have a link for a good company. It's called Natural Shilajit. It's a good one, and there's a code you can use for a discount.
Hmm.
But Shilajit, look into that one. That one's powerful. That one definitely, you'll notice that one. Most people notice that when they start taking it. They're like, they have more energy, testosterone goes up, libido goes up. just because it has so many minerals. You know, like I said, minerals are so important for us, and most people are deficient. It's like the number one thing that we should work on for just like nutrient deficiencies would be minerals for sure.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
those are all very, very helpful. What do you think about the? So this is like a funny one. Like,
But,
someone was saying, I've had a few people tell me like to start smoking cigars to raise your testosterone. What do you think about that?
I never heard that one.
You've never heard that one?
I mean, I know tobacco is
Mhm.
it hits like the dopamine receptor, so but I never heard about. I don't know how it would raise testosterone.
Yeah, and then I tried to do some research, and I looked it up
Yeah.
online,
And
and
did you
they
find
were
anything?
saying like smoking like cigars or something like
Uh,
actually does like raise your testosterone level. So I don't know if it was
but I
real,
wonder if it's
but
I wonder
like
if it's biology, or is it more just maybe because when you're smoking a cigar you feel more like manly or powerful, because even that helps with testosterone.
yeah,
You know, producing something like getting a sale, uh, just like doing like finishing something, like completing the goal, that all
mhm,
can raise your testosterone.
right,
So maybe the whole cigar thing is just like a manly thing to do. You hang out with guys. That, yeah, that can raise testosterone. But I don't know if it's doing it like like
like
like from the
biology
biology of
wise,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, like
hmm,
I don't know if tobacco
yeah,
would. I'd have to look into that. But yeah, I
mhm,
know it hits a dopamine receptor, so it can definitely give you like gives you energy and stuff. But it's a drug like anything else. It's nicotine,
yeah,
so you don't overdo it. Like anything, like any drug.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it.
Maybe it's because you're like breathing deeply, you know, as
But
well. Maybe
you're not
you're not
inhaling though with
inhaling it.
cigars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you're not
Yes,
really
you're not
taking it.
inhaling it. Yeah,
You're not taking any oxygen in.
yeah. So it's weird.
So I don't see how it could. Yeah, because you're just kind of like when you do a cigar, you just kind of like hit it
In your mouth, yeah.
in
You
your
just,
mouth.
yeah,
So you're not inhaling the oxygen really. So I don't know.
hmm,
That's a weird one. I haven't heard of that one for sure, but who knows?
yeah.
They're finding all kinds. But I would think like the side effects would probably not be worth it. There's
Oh
better
yeah.
stuff you can do.
There's better alternatives, like the stuff
There's
we've been
better
talking
stuff you
about.
can do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
there's
no.
definitely better stuff you can do than
Mhm.
smoking cigars. But yeah, a cigar is better than a cigarette. Every once in a while, if you have a cigar, it's not
Yeah,
the
not to
worst thing
have
in the world.
exactly. Like, what do you think about ginger and onion? Those two.
Ginger, yeah, ginger is great. Good for immune system. Good
Yeah.
for gut health. Gut health is huge too. That's a whole nother hour conversation. But
Oh, I
yeah,
bet.
gut health with gut health. But yeah, ginger is good for can really help with digestion. It's good for the immune system if you got like a cold. Onions are cool. Yeah, grilled. They're good.
Yeah.
Um, they have microbial benefits to them.
Hmm.
Like bacteria, stuff like that doesn't like it. It's just
Yeah.
like garlic. Anything that's really strong like that, like spicy onions. Ginger is very spicy like that. You got chili, like jalapenos. Any kind of chili is good for killing, the bad bacteria,
Hmm.
viruses, stuff like that. They just they don't like it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it can help with gut health, and gut health is, yeah, it's huge. That's a big one too for just mental health too. Your gut is like your second brain.
Hmm.
It is your second brain. So yeah, you produce even the similar um, neurotransmitters that you do in your brain, like serotonin. A lot of it, or most of it, comes from your stomach. So gut is very important. That's why it's so important what you put in your body and what you eat,
Hmm.
because you can actually cause anxiety and depression, and stress just by eating the wrong foods. That your gut doesn't like.
Yeah. We can save that for part two.
Yeah, there you go. Because
Good
that's a
health.
that's a that's a
Yeah,
big one.
I bet that's a huge one. What
Yeah.
do you think about like turmeric?
Turmeric's good, dude. Yeah, it's good for the immune system. It's good for what's turmeric? Yeah, yeah, it's great for immune. Um, that's like the main. Well, that I know of. Yeah, immune system.
Hmm.
It also helps you absorb or other herbs better, which a lot of people don't know about. So if you take like your superfood powder you're taking, the
Yeah.
greens,
Hmm.
what's it? Athletic greens, right?
Athletic. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take like a turmeric or add some real turmeric to it, like raw or whatever, add some to that, because you can buy it in powder form or like a capsule form.
Yeah.
It'll help you absorb the herbs better. It opens up your digestion and your absorption, so it's good for that. But yeah, it's good for the immune system. That's like the biggie. Um, trying to think. There's definitely more for turmeric. Oh, it's another thing that I wasn't thinking. It's inflammation. It's huge for inflammation, pain,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother hour too, talking about how to like manage pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, turmeric's a good one. That like if you have, you bumped your elbow or you injured yourself in working out or something like that. Turmeric it's a really good natural anti-inflammatory. So it helps with inflammation, helps with pain. It's better to turn to turmeric first before you go to like some kind of painkiller, Tylenol or painkiller medication.
It's like a healthier alternative.
Yeah, definitely, and it works. It actually does. It actually helps you heal faster without the nasty side effects like Tylenol or painkillers. So always try that first, turmeric, and you can buy it in the pill where it's like, and it's an extract, so it's really strong that way. But yeah, you can also eat it like a food and add it to add it to your food like as a seasoning or whatever.
Yeah, like I actually take a ginger turmeric shot
Oh yeah, there you go.
with like my greens and everything.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Dude,
So then it's helping you absorb your greens that way,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then like I said, really good immune system benefits too.
Mhm. Yeah, but we can start to wrap it up, man. Like, I mean,
Sounds good.
to summarize, like, everyone, like, you know, what is it? Like, meditate, do some deep breathing,
Yeah.
eat, real foods. Make sure it's, organic or wild caught or
Yeah, especially with the meat.
yeah,
The meat you want to
yeah,
do like organic or no
hmm
hormones added hormones. That's big for the meat.
yeah,
Greens for sure, organic's better. Like if you had a banana or like mangoes, you don't necessarily need to go organic because you're not eating the skin, so you're not
hmm
getting all the pesticides and all that. But with
right,
meat, it's a big one, and with the dark leafy greens, it's better
yeah,
to get organic.
smoothies,
Yeah,
hemp seeds, shower filter, like the
yeah, shower feels good. Cold showers too.
cold
Get into cold
showers,
showers, or
ice
or
baths.
make a little
Yeah,
ice bath.
yeah,
Saunas. Eat in a like 10-hour window, 8-hour window, whatever you can do.
yeah,
Keep that to, and then the rest of the time, fast as long as you can.
yep. Magnesium, cut out the blue light, sleep
Mm-hmm.
earlier at 10 to 2.
Oh,
I'm just trying to remember everything. We covered a lot, man. I mean,
there's a lot in there. Yeah, and if people have any
yeah,
questions or want
yeah,
some more info, they can you
yeah.
can
They
check out
can
my
hit you up.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Instagrams are
Yeah,
good.
what's all? Give out your plugs, man. If
Yeah,
people want
so
to
we
reach
got
out to you.
for Instagram, it's at Pineda Health, Pineda
Hmm.
Health.
Yeah,
That's for my Instagram. I put a lot of like health tips on there,
Pineda,
videos.
Ryan Pineda, right? Pineda
Yeah,
Health,
just my name's
Pineda
Ryan
Health.
Pineda, but yeah, for the
Yeah.
my tag is Pineda Health, and
Yeah. Not Pineda.
also you
Yeah.
what's that?
Not Pineda.
Yeah, people I
Pineda.
get I've heard that or like
Yeah.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they can add me on Instagram. Uh, Also, you can on my website. I have a where you can do a free call, like a 15-20 minute, quick call. We could do like a strategy session, and if you want to get some more information about my programs, I do all like customized one-on-one programs. I also do group programs. I do even corporate wellness, like where you go into companies and work with the employees, get everybody healthy so they're producing more. So yeah, and they could do that on my website. It's pinedahealth.com.
Hmm.
Or on my Instagram. If you go to my link in bio, you can click right there and you'll see book a call just to get, yes, like I said, I could do it. It's free, if they just want to get some more information and or if they have some basic questions, do that.
Yeah, I'll have your Instagram in the podcast and YouTube description so people can
Cool.
check you out pretty easily.
Cool.
Uh,
Sounds good.
but yeah, man, I mean, you've given out a lot of value, a lot of applicable steps for people to take, and I mean, I myself got value, and I've been in this game a long time, so you really know your stuff, man. And
Cool. Thank you, buddy.
and like I don't have many people on the podcast. I'm very selective, but I really thought that you could give some value, and yeah, I mean, and yeah, hopefully you get some value out of this as well. Uh, hopefully some people will like find the value of what you're talking about because it is very important, right? Like to make more money and just to feel better, look better, right? It just helps every aspect of your life
Yeah,
doing the things, that you talk about, right?
definitely. And I just want people to know I was just like them too. I wasn't like this guy that has always been like this. I didn't even start getting into health and to like eating, like I said, eating vegetables even until I was in my 30s. So I
Yeah.
feel like now I honestly I feel like I feel better now than I did when I was in even my 20s, even my late 20s. I definitely feel better and just feel like you can even reverse age. You can definitely slow down aging, but even reverse aging. And there's a lot of science behind that now coming out with just the way the way you take care of yourselves and the healthier you are and with your lifestyle, you can stay young and feel good. We don't have to age um, well, we're always in age. We're not gonna. You don't have to feel like shit when you age, and worry about getting diseases and just you're losing your quality of life. So I just want people to understand that. Like I used to eat like fast food every day and drink all the time. But yeah, this is way better, you know. And it's you just start slow and you just kind of it doesn't the more you learn and the better you get at this, you keep going and going and to where it gets easy and just becomes who you are. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. All right, love it, man. All right, we can end it there. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll
Thanks
have
for
a
having me,
part
bud.
two, and we'll have it in the studio hopefully, so that you know we'll have it more professional. But I think this was a fantastic podcast, one of the best ones I think I've recorded in terms of value. And yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk
we
again
covered a
soon,
lot of
man.
stuff. We
Yeah,
got into a lot of stuff, so it's good. We definitely should do a part two though. Get
yeah,
more deeper.
yeah, definitely. We can go into like more advanced stuff, and yeah, we could literally talk about the stuff for like 6 hours. I feel like
Yeah,
six.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's been a long podcast, guys. Go out there, get your nutrition in order, and follow through with some of the action steps that Ryan's given out. And yeah, yeah. See you guys on the next episode. Peace out, guys.